Typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would like
sake.
to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was,
It doesn't
Excuse
matter.
me.
We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So
well,
I would like to take a break at this moment.
yeah,
I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for now. Typical behavior.
When the mask comes off, there you go. The mask was slipping there when she was losing her cool. You got to see her true self. Speaking of true self, I woke up today. It turns out that while I was drunk, someone shaved my face. It's crazy. I don't know who did it, but I'm gonna totally get to the bottom of this. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the fine program. I am your host, Joe Neerman, aka Good Lawgic. I know it doesn't look like me. But it's me. That's true. In the flesh, you can tell from the voice. Either that, I'm like a really great Good Lawgic impressionist, like really good at it. Anyhow, what do we got going on today, Joey? Well, what we have is Walz was appearing in front of a congressional hearing to address issues with respect to fraud going on in his state. So there was that. That was definitely happening. We have Texas primary shockers. Some of them not really yet concluded yet. Some craziness going on in Texas where the landscape of what we know to be the Texas politicians, the power brokers in Texas, seems like it's being turned on its head. So there was that, and we're going to basically break down everything with respect to that. Plus, we got some updates for the war, from the war in Iran. All that and more. There is more. I actually have other stuff that I don't reference, smaller stories on there. We also have a goal tonight. What's tonight's goal, Joe? Well, tonight's goal is if we get 15 super chats, rumble rants, digger dollars, shekel chauffeurs, whatever you want to call it, that gets sent in here in quantities of $10 or greater, we will have a third hour, which will include a call-in show. I don't know if we're going to have a full hour of call-in. We'll see. But definitely going to go at least 3 hours. And there will be at least 30 minutes of that show, probably more, will be call-in, which I know you guys love getting on the phone and talking to me. And if not talking to me, then yelling at this guy over here, which he deserves every bit of your hate.
What did you do to your face?
Is it awkward now between us? Do I look younger than you?
It's not the face that's awkward. You do look closer to my age, like way closer. But it's not awkward because you shaved your face. It's awkward because of the things you said to me when you were drunk last night.
I disavow any knowledge of anything that happened last night. So, I'm the NYPD. Did you see someone here in NYPD hat last night? I don't think so.
I didn't. I saw a Jewish Abraham Lincoln. It was supposed to be the monopoly.
imitating the night, a trip to the Ford Theater with Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah,
so
you started out as Monopoly. The mustache worked for all of 5 seconds, and then you turned.
I had it all night. I actually had it all night until then. I still have it sitting. I still have it sitting here. I don't know why I lost it. Like it's so early in the show. I still have it sitting here, like that. But it doesn't stay on so well anymore. But yeah, it was a fun mustache.
You seriously, you ought to just grow. Do you remember the mustache conversation?
I remember going on Camelot's show and making a comment that Nick Recada's beard is his wife.
Yes,
and I thought that, and I was very proud of that line.
That was a good one. It was very good. Yeah,
I was like, I'm drunk out of my mind, and I came up with that line. I was like, that's pretty good.
That's a very good one. We were discussing you growing the Charlie Chaplin or the Michael Jordan just for a little while.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because my my rabbi gave I guess what you would call the equivalent of a sermon on Shabbos, and he was talking about the custom of dressing up.
Yeah,
and he actually said that the proper custom is to dress up as like the most evil people possible, and he muttered under his breath, like he threw out some
stimulated
different
cynic,
and he muttered under his breath. I thought I heard him mutter Hitler. And I asked him because I've never seen anyone dress up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one time I think when I was like in college, I saw
Joe,
someone dressed that way.
would you do it? Would you do it, or is it just too much of like a
So I-
sting? You know?
So I went to Lady Logic and I was like, so, you know, we have our costume set up for this year, but maybe for next year. What are
you
your
could be Ava and I could be
What are
Mr.
you-
H himself?
what are your thoughts? Seeing as how like that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like why she's like, no. It's like no.
You said so. Did she change costumes last night? So she was a Monopoly board, and then
Yeah.
she came on camera for a second as like a hippie or whatever. Which was
The Monopoly board was really just like she had like a shirt and she had like a different belt which had like Monopoly money and stuff like
okay.
that.
So it wasn't the true costume.
She wasn't like
wanted
a
to do.
giant board. No.
Gotcha.
No.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
Well, I'm glad you had fun, man. It was a good show. I enjoyed it.
thank you. You know,
You made connections with me and Ricada, so I can big time you and leave eventually.
I was trying for you. I was trying for you.
No,
Yeah.
but, it was a good show. I had a lot of fun.
Me too. I had a lot of fun. I actually was worried that I ticked off Branka because when I woke up this morning, Lady Logic was like, were you like you sound like you were being like a jerk to Branka, like you said your voice is making me throw up or something like that at one point. And I was like, it wasn't his voice, it was just volume at that particular moment, given my constitution at that particular moment. Like I just felt as if I heard anyone talking, I was going to throw up. So it wasn't like him.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say Bronca called out. You just said I have to take my headphones off. I can't hear them because voices are making me want to puke.
Yes. I've never had that before, but it really was. And I think you can even see shortly thereafter I threw water on my face, or maybe it was before, but when I threw water on my face, that really helped a lot. Like I was looking at myself, I look green. Like before I threw the water on my face.
Yeah,
I was
you look pale for sure. I would say that Jim got quieter and Bronca left. So if you do the math, it's one of those two, because I stayed all the way to the end with you and you never got sick. So
yeah,
remember
maybe.
that. Remember that, you know, when it comes time to give me a raise. All right?
Yeah, when it comes time to renegotiate, you're gonna throw that in my face. Joe, I kept you from hurling. No, so I texted him, I was like, I hope you're not mad, you know, like whatever. He's like, no, I had a lot of fun. I was like, oh, okay, good. So I don't want to get him upset. By the way, I want to mention something. Speaking of you appearing on the channel, you got a very big compliment before we even started, and that was right here from Preston Jennings saying, I always watch these the next day at work, but I've been meaning to drop a chat to say that this Wednesday show is my favorite show, period, anywhere.
Wow.
Even with the hard R, I dare you to do it again. Also, grow that beard back. So that's a very big compliment to me and a little bit to you.
Just a very tiny bit to
a little bit to you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it makes sense.
So thank you. And I just want you to know that even though this came in before the clock started, the counter started on our super chats, I am going to count this towards the 15 because that's appropriate. So
I agree.
It says 15, but I'm definitely counting this as one of them towards the 15. So we should really give it double credit because it came in before, like as a way of saying like thank you, because I like coming into a show,
especially considering he does.
I'm going to do that. You know what? I'm doing that right now. I'm going to count it double. I'm going to count it as 2 super chats just because he sent it before I even got the thing up there. That's how we're counting. So we only need 13, and then with this we only need 12. Rumor has it Nick Fuentes isn't allowed Sin show because he's not racist.
It's true. He doesn't really believe in the true 1488. You know,
that's pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
He's too Mexican for me. Yeah,
it's way too Mexican for you. All right. Well, speaking of people who love talking about racism,
yeah,
Mr. Tim Walz was in Congress today testifying under oath.
Ooh.
And he thinks that anyone who's questioning his policies about just giving away billions of dollars to fraudulent Somalians is obviously a racist. I mean, it's clearly what it is. So there's a whole bunch of golden clips. Some of them are funny. Some of them were mic drop type of moments. which I wanted to share with you and the audience so we could just sort of savor some of the better moments from today's proceedings.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Yeah, anything
Yeah.
that involves racism, you know me. It's when I
No
wake up
promise.
in the morning.
No promises. we can only hope, please. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get it started. This was the first one here is with Jim Jordan. I don't like reading it. Let's hear it for ourselves. What juicy goodness we have here, because apparently Jim Jordan went after him pretty hard.
Oh.
Payments are restarted. Why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments?
So after he's being questioned here about the fact that a court had basically said that you stopped your payments because they're fraudulent, and then you restarted them after that. So why did you restart them? Like what are you thinking when you're doing? What's going through your head when you do that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm bumping the volume a little bit here.
Well, Chairman, we did tell you, and Feeding Our Future grew because of the pandemic. And
I didn't ask that question. I said, why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments? The payments stopped because there were concerns, obviously, it wouldn't stop the payments. Then they're restarted a month later. What was the reason for restarting the payments?
my understanding was the agency believed that the court had required them to make those payments.
And that was false, wasn't it? You repeated
think
that.
that
you
is-
said that, didn't you?
I
So our agency was under the impression that the court was compelling us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You were wrong about that, but for one
We
reason
made
or
it-
another,
We made an oopsie, a very simple oopsie. Why didn't he comb his hair before he showed up today?
I think he did.
You think that's him with his hair combed?
I think when he wakes up, he's like Einstein.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
And then he basically gets it down into like this sort of thing. I mean, I will say this. I respect the fact that he doesn't do the Jim Jordan comb over, because this is, come on, Jim.
It's gone, Jim. Jim, let it go. Shave it, you'd look like a Chad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, by the way, if not for the fact that it's expressly prohibited by like Jewish law, I would totally shave my head bald. I would go hardcore bald.
Wait,
But
hold on.
we're
Shaving
actually
your
not
head
allowed
bald?
to. We're actually not allowed to,
Really? So you
Yeah.
have to keep the like cul-de-sac or whatever.
It's really this portion here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
So, but if you leaving that portion there, then
Well,
you're.
see, that's reversing my heritage. We're supposed to go skinhead. So
I think the
Yeah.
whole friar thing that you had in the Middle Ages was specifically designed to be like the anti of that. That's my speculation. I never read that or saw it anywhere, but I noticed how it's like the only thing that they cut is that specifically. So, but yeah, but if not for that, just from an aesthetic perspective, I totally agree with you. The bald head is just like, come on, like who's gonna mess with you?
yeah, if I was bald, I would just take myself out to the back and
Yeah,
put
for
myself on
sure.
the pasture. Yeah, I've got
For sure. Yeah,
I've
I
had
even
the
went on
multiple
record. Like I once had a conversation with some other Ortho Jews where I was like, if there was one commandment that you could just sort of erase and it's not there at all, which would it be? Like I was curious, like what's the thing that is you get frustrated with the most?
Mm-hmm.
And my own answer to that question was that, because I said I'll totally shave my head. I don't care, like the whole eating kosher, no pig, all that. No, that's fine. This bothers me more. I'm never gonna change it. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna observe it, but that is like the thing that's struggle. One of the things that shocked me is one of my friends told me that what frustrates him the most is tattoos, like not being able to get a tattoo. Like he really wants a tattoo.
Oh yeah. Because you're not supposed to. I thought you were just not supposed to tattoo like the dead on your body. Like you're not supposed to tattoo like in memoriam or.
That's a
anything like
different.
that.
That's a different restriction. That restriction is you're not allowed to carve into your skin. That's not ink. There's actually a specific thing about like not using a needle to put ink under your skin.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like no. For you, it's totally fine. In
Oh yeah, I
fact,
just gotta like be a good guy and I could still go to heaven. I forgot we had this
Yeah.
conversation last night.
For you, it's way easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like for Ortho Jews, yeah, we're not allowed to get tattoos. But you're correct. It's interesting that you read that. But that's true. It's a different prohibition that we're not allowed to carve into ourselves out of a sign of respect of mourning for the dead, which apparently used to be a custom amongst non-Jews. So, anyhow, yeah, I think that Jim Jordan would look like, oh my God, he would look so fierce. Right?
Yeah, he would look like a tough guy right now. Like he has like a little person's voice, and he had like he has the comb over, and you could see the shiny underneath the hair. It's like
right,
like
he looks like a principal.
Chat up a little bit, bro. And
he looks like a principal, and not like the cool Louis Gossett Jr. type of principal, but more like hey kids, cut that out, no running in the halls. That kind of principal, and you could do better. Just embrace it.
The reason you restarted is because the court ordered you to do so. Is that right?
I don't believe that is settled yet, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I think it is. Because the court did.
I think it is.
I just don't. I don't know if I've ever seen it. They issued a statement saying you were wrong in what you were saying. This is from the court. It says, Feeding Our Future versus Minnesota Department of Education, correcting reports and statements by Governor Tim Walz concerning orders issued by the court. Here's what the judge says. Governor Tim Walz told the media that the Minnesota Department of Education attempted in payments to FOF because of possible fraud, but that Judge Guthman ordered payments to continue in April 2021. Next sentence. That is false. So you said something wasn't true. He would further state this, Judge.
Well, what can I say? I'm a knucklehead.
Tim Walz looks like the type of guy that gets lost in his own bathroom. He just looks so confused all the time. Like, look at his face. Just watch his face. Everybody's looking at Jordan. He's like he's owning him. But Walz looks like he can't make out human words.
Wow, that's
like, look at him right now. Look at him. Look at his face right now. He's like,
Yeah.
I hear sounds, but it's not correlating in my brain pan.
It's how this guy rose up the way he did is just. Like, I don't know how many souls he had to trade with the devil to get this deal.
I've always assumed he went the Kamala Harris route. You know what I mean?
You heard about all that those horse drinks.
Yeah, a Willie Brown style. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think
Family show.
I mentioned the guy's name.
It's a family show.
All I said is a man's name. What more? What did I say?
All right.
The court says this. Judge Guthman never ordered the Department of Education to resume payments to Feeding Our Future in April 2021 or at any other time. So I want to know, why didn't you tell the truth?
Congressman, the attorneys at the Department of Education interpreted that differently. Both of those judges are no longer on the bench. And I think that interpretation.
The very first sentence, the first 7 words. This is not some unnamed source talking to the New York Times. This is not some anonymous source talking to whatever your Minnesota Star Tribune or whatever your paper is. This is the court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District Court judge has issued and authorized this following news release. That's pretty straightforward. So the court's lying?
I can't tell you, Congressman, but the
interpretation.
What can you tell us, Jim?
Maybe the court's lying. I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of my job, but I don't know. What do you want from me? Huh?
Oh my God.
Let's say the court ordered you to restart the payments, and then the court says we didn't order you to restart the payments. So either you're lying or the court's lying. And I'm just asking you, which one is it?
I just simply know what the attorneys at the agency believed, that it was a misinterpretation. And I would note that those payments. Could it be
you were trying to hide behind the court, Governor? Could that maybe be the reason why you issued the statements you did and why the court had to do something you never see done before? They issue a press statement saying you're wrong. The governor is wrong. His statement is, their words, not mine, false. Could that be the reason?
That was not the interpretation of the attorneys. And court work, you can appeal those, Congressman, as you well know.
It wasn't appealed, though, so you weren't able to do it at that point. You were specifically told, don't make these payments. And it's like, oh, we understand that to mean that we're supposed to make these payments. It's like, how ridiculous is it? Well, that was the interpretation. The appeal is not relevant. The fact that you could later appeal and change what the court says, that doesn't mean that as of that point in time that there was authorization or a direction from the court that you should be paying. That's ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous red herring he's throwing out.
It's a very silly thing right there. He's just hitting him with a just over and over again. Shoulder shrugs all the way across. Come on, bro. You're the governor of a state. You were about to be vice president. You were an inch away from being vice president.
From being the heartbeat away.
Yeah.
From being a heartbeat
You're an
away
inch
from being
away
our
from being a
president.
heartbeat away. And
Yeah.
you can't figure out these payments to the Somali daycares. You can't figure out whether you were supposed to start, stop, maybe anything. You can't figure it out.
You can't figure out what a court order says.
Oh man, these people.
Is it all about politics, Governor?
No, it's about taking care of our people, which
Yeah,
Minnesota
these
about
did
taking
very
care of our
well.
people.
3 million. The behavioral intervention program went from 3 million to 400 million in 5 years. The housing stabilization went from 2.6 million to 104 million. The integrated community supports went from 4.6 million.
So, as Wellesley posed on, maybe the Harris campaign used some of the fraudulent money to pay for her campaign. It would be a reason for choosing Walz. That guy's just screaming in money. Like, why wouldn't we go with him? We should totally, grab him up now. I guess perhaps maybe that was her thinking, because there's little else. You almost have to ask, what was he thinking? Like, what was the thought process that made him say this is the direct, that made her say this is the direction we want to go? It's not like she thought she was going to lose Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? It's like
She was
sometimes
never going to lose Minnesota, though. So Tim Walz being the pick, still to this day, blows my mind.
Yeah, it was an astonishingly bad pick, which just it's another thing that she was really terrible at. But I mean, in Pennsylvania at least would have given her with Shapiro. That was totally a much better call, but they were so afraid of ticking off the pro-Palestinian front, and by having a Jew as second on the ticket.
Yeah,
that's really what it boiled down to.
The left was really leaning into the 1488. They were really doing a lot of Nick Fuentes posting at that time. But also, I think the left I think they're scared of Shapiro, and if he was vice president, then he would have probably eventually became president a lot quicker than what's his name, the doofus out in California, that they really, really, really want to be president, except for, well, he's a retarded black guy now. So
it's an interesting thing that you're raising here, because it almost feels as if, like with Biden, like the objective was to get people who are easily controlled.
Yeah.
So maybe the elites who were helping guide Kamala were like, he's just a putz. So we'd rather him rather than some shrewd operator who might help us get Pennsylvania. Maybe we'll get Pennsylvania anyway. And this way, we're not going to have to deal with someone who's potentially going to think for himself.
Yeah, my theory has always been that Obama was still sort of running the White House for the most part.
I believe largely.
So you believe the same thing I do, that he was
when he
did that interview,
would do that.
That's what I was about to say. When he did that interview,
yeah,
and said that if I could run the country while sitting in my slippers and not having to do the day-to-day, I would. And so if he could control Kamala and could control Walz, but could control Shapiro or whoever else, Gavin, then that's why he didn't want them. But that was a disaster. Walz was a terrible pick. They were never going to lose Minnesota. That was just stupid. You always want to pick someone that is going to give you a benefit in the race, and Walz gave them nothing. They thought it gave. Remember, we watched the "I'm a Man" videos. I'm a man, and I know how to cry. I'm a man, and I wear camouflage.
I like I'm a man, and I'm a big believer.
I know how to work on cars and all those things. So
when I'm not busy changing carburetors,
I'm doing my daughter's hair. I think was the guy that it's like, I know how to do a French braid. I know how to put on makeup, wear a dress, skip around in a field of daisies.
I'm just like you.
I'm just like you, man. I'm voting left. And I think they thought, because Minnesota has a lot of outdoorsmen, and they thought that it was going to get the blue collar Rust Belt vote.
Oh yeah,
leaning to.
Maybe that's what it was.
That's why they did the like the mossy oak camo hats and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but those guys were never going to vote for you.
Yeah. Camille says, just got here. Don't know what you're talking about. Please grow the beard back. All right, I need to make this a poll now. We're gonna make this. Camille says, "Just got here. Don't know what you're talking about. Please definitely need to make this into a poll." So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a poll up here. Clean shaven or grow it back. At the end of the day, you're all gonna be vetoed by Lady Logic whenever the hell she wants, but. we'll have a poll. So I'm giving the illusion of you having a choice. And
yeah, it's like a choose your own adventure video game. They all end the same way.
Yes.
Like, guys, I want you to know when you vote in this poll and you waste your time, it's always going to end with his beard coming back because of Lady Logic. She said it last night. So
oh, she said she wants it back. That's what she said on the air.
You really were that wasted.
I was so wasted.
She didn't say it on air, but she was off camera and you asked her. But you had a whole plan. You don't remember your whole plan about keeping it clean shaven until Passover and all that stuff starts?
Okay, so I'm gonna actually I'll have three choices because I had the trim beard and then there was the full beard. So I'm gonna have keep it clean.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Trimmed beard. Trim beard or full beard. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna check in the ghetto. You guys tell me clean, trimmed, full. So just let me know there. We're gonna, and no jokes. So, all right, we'll let that percolate. We'll let that brew for a little bit. And as we watch Mr. Gill here skewering Tim Walz, because he's actually someone, he's a member of the House.
Clark Kent? When did he join Congress?
He's actually pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah.
Sorry. Now this is right at my alley, man. I know comic books. Let's do this.
Yeah, no. He's that's so intentional also, right? It's like,
the red beard,
it accidentally fell down like that.
I did that one time and I was like, well, you look like a douche. And then I realized that there's no way for you to do that. Just have a natural curl. Fall
over your forehead like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he happens to be a pretty good politician, as politicians go, from what I've seen.
Yeah, but he makes me want to bully him now.
Fair enough.
All right.
Bernstein, who again has stated that she is a Democrat, she's only ever voted Democrat.
Says that it doesn't matter whether she's Democrat or Republican.
Smear campaign for trying to make leadership aware of illegal contracting practices. Why do you think that happened?
I can't speak to that, Congressman, because we don't do it.
You just don't. You don't know anything.
I do know that we have strong whistleblower protections, and I can't speak.
That's not what the whistle.
He was notorious for basically going after the whistleblowers who were calling out the fraud. There were dozens of people who were complaining that there was rampant fraud going on, and his administration completely kiboshed all of them, and if anything, really targeted going after the whistleblowers who were calling attention to the fraud. So that's what Brandon Gill here is talking about.
Whistleblowers are saying. According to another report,
I'm not sure if Brandon is his name, but it just seems like a name that fits him, right? I mean, with the hair.
Yeah, I agree.
That's totally a Brandon hairstyle.
Yeah.
Quote, there's just a continuous effort to stifle you, to shut you up, and it's impossible to overcome. Your administration's response to whistleblowers has also been described as, quote, nearly unbearable retaliation. We've heard claims that, quote, they've been denied vacations, promotions, and that it's hurt people's careers to speak out against fraud. Do you think that had something to do with the prevalence of fraud in your administration?
I can't speak to it, but
are you going to take responsibility for this?
I supervise 40,000 employees. State agencies
you
have their own.
supervise a lot of employees, and as you have said, the buck stops with you. And your administration has treated whistleblowers like absolute dirt, and that's a big reason why we've seen so much of our hard-earned tax dollars defrauded.
Not pulling any punches, this guy. There was another clip I saw with him also. Let me pull that up. We'll take care. We'll knock him off from our list of people who I wanted to share with you all. This was not it. No.
People ask me if I wanted to bully Superman. I'm not a Superman fan, by the way. I used to be. And somebody asked also, are there Jewish superheroes? Superman is a Jewish superhero. He was
Isn't he?
written, yeah, he was created by Jewish. I forget the guy's names off the top of my head for some weird reason. But no, they created him to make him like the like the Jewish dream, like what they could be if they only were. So almost about 90% of all superheroes are Jewish.
That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Well, all the biggest comic book creators are Jewish.
I think his whole archetype is basically the most Jesus-y thing imaginable.
Yeah, they wrote themselves as like a Messiah character. Not Jesus, but a Messiah.
Right. That's what he's supposed to be, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he's
but
supposed to be a messianic
not-
figure.
Yeah, but not Jesus. Yeah, like the what'd you call it before? The sleeping. Thank you so much. The Ubermensch. Yeah,
The Ubermensch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
that's what he was created for.
I'm not sure if this was the clip. This was a different one with Representative Gill. So we'll go here. We'll see whether I saw one with him where I was not sure.
Someone says Stanley was Jewish, so therefore Spider-Man is pronounced Speederman.
Der Spiderman.
That's Speederman.
Der Spiderman. That's pretty funny.
When did you become governor?
In January of 2019.
In 2019. Okay, so using 2018 as a baseline, do you know what that program paid in Medicaid claims?
I do not, Congressman.
It's about $671,000. Do you know what that program paid in Medicaid claims in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me.
$342 million. That's about a 500x increase over 6 years.
Yeah, we covered that. Yeah. Yeah, remember you asked me how much would be an acceptable increase, and I was like, "Oh, this much," and it was 500 times that. And
No, I think I asked you what amount of fraud. I asked you about registered voters. That's what I was asking you. What would be a reasonable percentage of an excess of registered
I could have
voters?
sworn we did the money too.
I don't remember that. You may be
Yeah,
right,
We
but
did discuss the money though, and it was so much that I wanted to leave the show. I never wanted to come back. I didn't want to hear about none of this.
that's my
anymore.
objective: is to
Yeah.
drop facts on you so much that you just rage quit me forever.
It's that's what it is.
I'm trying to do that. Everyone wonders why my audience dwindles. It's because I just basically piss them off by sharing clips.
Forcing them to leave.
I'm like, you're not gonna be able to stomach this one.
I've honestly, since I've been doing your show for the past, I think it's been 5 months now, 6 months now. I pay attention a lot less to the news because I know I'm gonna get like a fire hose dose of it on Wednesdays, and
Nice.
every time it blows my mind. I'm just like, are we really? What are we? How are we? No, stop it. Please stop it, government.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't remember talking about money? Question mark. Thank you, Chad.
Was there 500 times the number of autism patients in that time period?
I think they're all on YouTube, by the way, doing shows.
Congressman,
That doesn't sound reasonable, right? You don't
Right,
think there was a 500x increase in the number of autism
Well, I think-
patients in 6 years, right?
correct, and that's why we ordered on-site visits starting back in
So we
2024.
agree that doesn't sound reasonable. Would you also agree that a single taxpayer dollar wasted on fraud is a dollar too much to tolerate?
Yes.
Yep. And would you agree that as governor, ultimately you're responsible if tax dollars are defrauded?
Yes, I would agree.
So there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, at least he's saying it now. Is he going to live up to what he said, though?
Of course not. That's why he's chasing after whistleblowers. Because hey, come on. Is he gonna live up to it? Like, what
Stop
do you?
exposing the business. Yeah.
Oh, seriously.
These people every week, man. Every week it just hurts my soul. If all these politicians, not just like the lefties that have the kumbaya socialism, everybody eats, everybody doesn't have to worry about like breaking their back, universal income people, but just the fraud and shenanigans. If we got rid of the fraud and shenanigans, you realize we could probably do that for Americans, what they won't.
Yeah, it's true. If we really got rid of fraud, we probably we probably could be we'd be under budget. You know what I'm saying? Like we could actually have a budget without running a deficit every single year.
And at that point, we could do some of these things for people and go,
Yeah.
you know what? Everybody gets $1,500 universal income. At that point, nobody has to worry about what, like a power bill and their groceries.
All right, let me just stop you right there. Okay, because you stepped on a landmine there with that
Did
one.
I?
Yeah. Okay. Universal income is a disaster.
Agreed.
No, it's not a disaster because the amount of money it would cost the government. That's not why. It's not because of fraud or anything of that nature.
Okay.
Universal basic income of X numbers of dollars per month or year is all that will do. All it can possibly do is create inflation.
Of course.
So that's not something we should ever see on the horizon. That someday we'll be able to be at a place where we have universal income. That's why I want to remove that from your thinking ever, because all you're literally doing is just making things cost more money.
Sure.
That's all it does. You're not going to have any, because that's just the nature of how basic economics operates. You just throw more money at it. All you're doing is jacking up the price. The reason that we've seen skyrocketing tuition costs is because of government grants towards tuitions.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yes. And that's what happened. And that will happen across the board in basic necessities if you just start doling out thousands of dollars a year back to Americans. That's what will happen. So you need to remove that. I need to
just even as an idea of that they want, just never bring it up then.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. Just be like, that's not humane. You're harming the very people you're purporting to try helping.
Yeah.
That's what you end up doing. You're harming them.
So all right, so they know that because they're, obviously they know the economy, they have economists. So what is their goal with even bringing that up? What do you think?
Oh,
they'll never do it.
Their goal is it's a virtue signal that I care about poor people.
That's all it is, just a virtue.
So the objective of a politician is not to solve problems, but to make it look as if they care, as if they're helping. So that's how, if you're a politician who doesn't care,
you literally just made my
their objective is to basically convince society that they're here to help protect you. Even if they were like, some ancient doctor who's like applying leeches to your body to, remove the humors from your blood. And that's how you have to recognize politicians, that they're basically, no, I'm curing you. I'm helping you. You need to vote for me because without me, there won't be people like me to help you. That is the objective.
I mean, what was it that Reagan said?
To a simpleton who doesn't have any sort of understanding of basic economics. It's like, oh, it's free money. I'm getting free money. Why I have a choice if I can get free money or not get free money. Why would I not want the politicians giving me free money? And they know it's a very popular thing to say without realizing that the repercussions for those very people is that their spending power will be ultimately lessened as a result of that phenomenal gift. That's the problem. The problem is they're preying on the intellectually vapid. And figuring that this way I'm going to become popular with them, and assuming that the majority of society will remain stupid. That's all right.
Yeah, when you said that made my skin crawl. Just absolutely. Ugh.
That's why I'm here.
Thanks, Joe. You're the hero.
Just use a filter when you want to shave for the stream.
Use a shave filter whenever you feel like looking like, what you should do is get somebody to like get you a VTuber of your face and then do the whole setup whenever you know what, I want to be clean shaven, Joe, and then you could go into the VTubing rig.
Nice. I like it.
Giving you ideas.
Right. Now that sounds gayer than Tim Walz.
Come on now.
Natalie Ritchie, new member of the following. Welcome to the following. Please bear in mind the following is not at all a cult.
The tracks, seriously, all the tracks.
Kimmy Hunt says, it is Brandon Gill. He's married to Dinesh D'Souza's daughter. Beard trimmed or full Duck Dynasty?
Oh, have you ever gone Duck Dynasty?
You saw my beard as long as it ever was.
Yeah, I noticed it last week. I was like, hey, it's a little long.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was growing it out. I was growing it out. I figured out. I knew I was going to be shaving off for perms, so I figured let's have the contrast, the starkest contrast I can come up with. So so I was growing it out, and I wanted to see what it would look like, more full. So let's see where that poll is at. And I haven't checked in on what people in Rumble were voting. So let me take a quick gander over there.
Look at the polls, Joe.
Let's see what they were saying over there. Rizelian says, Joe, in the next 10 years, UBI will be required, and you might not like it, but it'll be as robots and AI take over 80% of jobs. That's not going to help anyone. Duckfat says, I'm pretty sure the Hitler mustache was on the table last night.
It was. No, it 100% was. I had you leaning Charlie Chaplin. That was a selling point.
Hans says we need option to go full Orthodox long beard and sideburns.
Oh yeah.
Go curly locks. That's not happening.
Why not? Why won't you do the locks, man?
You
ever done the locks?
No, that's a Hasidic Jew thing.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm seeing here is people basically saying keep it short, clean, and neat, like trimmed. That's what people are saying, and I think that's what ultimately Lady Logic is going to push me for. The trimmed. Even when I have it trimmed, I leave the chin a little bit longer. Just I think it looks better that way. But no, yeah, I'm getting a thumbs up from Lady Logic on that.
Very smart lady.
Yeah, let's see where our poll is at on that. Oh yeah, trim beard is running away with that. But full beard, keep it clean is dead last at 19%. All right, fine. Gosh. All right. So this last one of Brandon Gill that I want to share with you here before we move on to some of the others.
Yep. And would you agree that as governor, ultimately you're responsible if tax dollars are
This is what we saw from him.
Yes, I would agree.
Yep. Would you also agree that calling somebody racist is a serious accusation?
If they are racist, I think it's
I'm
probably
asking
accurate.
you, is that a serious accusation to make about somebody?
I think it's just an observation of reality.
All right, well, let's go there. Is it racist for a government official to identify fraud?
No.
No. Is it Islamophobic to identify fraud?
No, I don't believe it would be.
How come multiple whistleblowers have said that your administration told them not to say anything about widespread fraud across multiple agencies because doing so would be considered racist or Islamophobic?
I can't speak to it because it's not anything I would say.
Well, that's what your administration has said and has told whistleblowers. And as you just testified, the buck stops with you. That's what you stated in your statement whenever you announced you weren't running again.
Yeah. The reason he's not running again because he doesn't want to be shamed.
See, if he did it because it was racist, I'd vote for Tim Walz. I'm just throwing that one out there. Tim, if you want my vote, if you want me to move to Minnesota and vote for you, buddy, lean into it.
Lean in on the racism.
Might
Stop
as
being
well
a
at this
coward.
point. Yeah, don't be a bitch.
Gosh, grow up.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's get a little bit from Nancy Mace. Let's hear a little bit from her.
I take Congress.
Oh, let me take this one.
They just took turns on him, just beating him up then all day today.
They were having a lot of fun. Let's check her out.
How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today?
You did. I take Congress seriously.
And you've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready? How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you want to say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me.
Were you governor in 2024?
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of
your excuse you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024 as governor, and you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million was spent in 2024. What percent increase is that from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell me.
All right. Okay, Tim. Way to go, buddy. That was a good one.
Yeah, no, that is right. You
Yeah.
have to respect that one.
You
Yeah.
governor of Minnesota or not?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay,
not.
well,
I'm
when
not
I'm
a prop
governor of
for a
South
member of
Carolina,
Congress.
you can
All right,
sure
now
as
you're
hell
just
bet
wearing it
I'm
out.
going to know
Hit
the
it,
math.
leave it.
Math is 34,200% increase, an increase of 343 times what it was in this time period. Do you know the number of children in Minnesota?
I know that Minnesota ranked as a top 3 state
Okay,
for
what is
children
the
in the
total
last year.
population in Minnesota?
5.7 million.
Okay. What is the total population of children in Minnesota?
I don't have the number in front of me right
Are
now.
you governor of Minnesota?
I know 400,000 were cut out of health care last
Okay,
week by
that's
the
not-
actions you made.
Oof.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I am.
And you don't know the number of children
I
residing
don't
in
have the
Minnesota?
specific numbers.
Well, got another clip of her going after him. This might be the same. This is the same thing. I'm not sure. This is the same thing. Never mind. I apologize. I withdraw my last statement. I withdraw that. I thought she went after him pretty aggressively there. Pretty aggressively.
It was very funny, his attitude towards her versus the other guys. He seemed very timid.
You think it's a misogynistic thing?
It felt like that to me, yeah.
That's interesting.
I am a misogynist, so
right. So you recognize it in
I
others.
recognize it, yeah, in others, yeah.
Here's a tiny clip of Lauren Boebert. Let's see if he tries running over her.
All right, let's go.
Governor Walz, do you know who Victoria Eileen Harwell is?
I do not believe I do.
What about American Mafalda Tire?
I don't believe I do.
Fair. These are Minnesota women who were brutally killed by illegal aliens in your state. You don't know who they are, so I would also assume that you did not attend their vigils or speak out to their families when they were brutally killed by illegal aliens.
I'm
in
not
your
familiar
state.
with both of these, no, Congresswoman.
No, just the hard-hitting CNN ones. Governor Walz, do you know who Victoria?
He's visiting the little stone vigil of Renee Good. Yeah, that he's all over.
Yeah.
But someone who's butchered by an illegal alien, it's like, oh, I don't even know their names. Pathetic. You are a prop. That's what he is. He's a prop. He's a prop for the left. He's a prop. It's like what it's all about appearances. I told you. He's proving it for me. It's all that matters. This is the last one with Governor Walz before we move on elsewhere.
And Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you know this, but it's been widely reported that in 2008, when Barack Obama was choosing his vice presidential candidate, he had 3 criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody that wasn't as smart as him and had less talent and charisma and couldn't possibly outshine him. We picked Joe Biden. And then Joe Biden in 2020 used the exact same criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody who wasn't as smart as him, had less talent and charisma, and wouldn't outshine him. And he picked Kamala Harris. And then in 2024, Governor, I think it's very evident why Kamala Harris picked you. The talent pool, Mr. Chairman, the talent pool in just shallow, brother. We have hit the shore, and I yield back.
He just took time just to make fun of him. That's all it was.
But he did it well.
He did it very well. I loved it. That was great. Fantastic.
That was phenomenal. That was exceptional.
Except for the brother, just say brother. It's a lot better for white people that are watching this. Just saying.
Well, anyway. So that was a nice little job.
It's a good job. Yeah. Way to go, man. I don't know who that guy was, but I can't wait to see more of him in the future.
His name, that's a good question. What is his name? I don't know his name. That was Representative Fallon. So
yeah, we'll keep an eye out on him. I'm gonna put him in my my future draft,
Fallon?
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, I thought it was a really good analysis, and it's spot on. I got some side news for you today. You remember that whole church storming thing?
Yeah.
That whole incident?
Mm-hmm.
Harmeet Dillon announced this today, which I thought was a nice thing. Nice little update on that story. As of Monday, all 39 individuals indicted in the attack on City's church in Minnesota had been arrested. 2 of them while abroad.
Wow.
Yeah. We, the Civil Rights Division, look forward to bringing justice to the victims of this attack and demonstrating our commitment to justice for all. All 39 of them. Obviously, with respect to Don Lemon, I don't know that he's ever gonna face any sort of criminal penalties.
Mm-hmm.
But the other 39 of them, they really could face jail time.
Yeah, and they're gonna let Don Lemon, just walk.
Well, they're not trying to let him walk.
I got you. Yeah. Somebody in the chat asked me, "Hey cynic, what's the other word for brother?" I already said it once. Go 2 episodes back.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. It's funny you say that. I was looking at something before when I was looking for a clip to open with. So I stumbled on this clip and I was like, do I want to play this clip or not? Like, is this where I want to go?
Mm-hmm.
And I was very torn. And it was a long clip. It was longer than the one I normally do. So like I ended up like not using it. It was like 3 minutes long. I want to see if I can find it because I clicked on it and then I was like, I gotta see if I can find it. But it reminded me of you. I thought it was appropriate to use it for you.
Oh no! Why are we? I never like it when you say things like that. I'm already,
no, why? You should take it as a compliment.
I will right now until I see it. But the smirk on your face tells me that it's.
Well, I found. Good news is I found it.
Good. I'm waiting on bated breath.
Well then. Well then.
What? What's so funny?
Go ahead, play it.
This just made me think of you. So I think that well,
this guy's a legend. I'll tell you that much.
Have you seen him before?
I'll explain after we watch it. Let your chat see it.
All right.
Get away from the door, nigga. I repeated the same insult because that's sort of what I've been trained to do.
The school district says that is not what they trained English teacher Paul Dawson to do.
You tried to say
Surprise, surprise. That's not what they trained him to do. He said that's what he's trained to. But the school district wants to emphasize that's not what we trained him to do. Just don't get that twisted. We never trained him that.
And I didn't say it, and no one else in the class knows that I said it because I didn't.
Documents from the school investigation show that several of the students interviewed from Valley did not hear Keyshawn say the N-word first. Dawson says that students use the slang version of the N-word in Valley.
He even comes with his own visual aids.
Yes.
You have to appreciate he came prepared for this. Unlike Tim Walz, when he shows up to Congress, he's not prepared. This guy's prepared.
Doesn't say the N-word once. Who do you think you are, Tim? Huh?
High school all the time. He says N-I-G-G-E-R is a racial slur.
I don't know what that says. Can you say that?
N-I-G-G-A as often as they'd say dude or hey man. And Dawson says as much as he does not like the word, he still used the slang version to feel more comfortable with black students.
Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it.
He's at a loss. This guy's at a loss.
Yeah. He's flabbergasted. Some would say.
That's the word, flabbergasted.
Yeah, he's flabbergasted.
And I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes,
I love that they have a black woman interviewing about this.
They did that. No, they did that on purpose. They did it just to mess with him. And he looked around the pool
Look at her.
of news reporters, and they said,
Look at her face. It's great. It's great.
More comfortable with black
happening?
students.
Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it, and I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I use nigga. I've used it.
me too, sir.
I admit it.
You and me
I
both.
put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. That, you know, nigga this, nigga please, nigga. You know, can you lend a nigga a pencil?
What kind of example?
Oh my god. It's good. I feel like I'm learning a lot from him.
Yeah.
What time to join stream? HP Lovecraft's dog? I don't even know what that is. That one's over my head.
Who are you setting for your students if you use a word that you don't want them to use?
Upon reflection, that's not good.
Yeah, man.
As I'm thinking through everything
made-
that's happening here, I'm
Yeah.
recognizing that's probably not the right call.
Yeah, he made an oopsie. Yeah, we see a lot of oopsies on this show, and that one may or may not have been a bit of an oopsie, you know?
Dawson was suspended for 10 days without pay from January 9th to January 23rd, and he has to go to diversity training. He says that he's learned from this.
Yet he still brought in the cue cards.
Let me explain to you what happens with the A. So
I put an H on it to emphasize the soft ending on the end. All right,
This experience and hopes that others think twice before using the N-word.
I will never say any form of nigga. I'm cured of
you're
that.
doing it
Paul
again.
Dawson says that he is sorry for the way things were handled, but Keyshawn says that he is not looking for any apologies.
Apologizing is going to change the fact that it happened and he's not been punished.
this kid don't say the N word to his friends.
Never.
My ass.
Not having his job anymore.
Paul Dawson says that he wants there to be a steadfast policy in Jefferson County Public Schools against people using the N-word. Right now, when it is brought up, it's dealt with on a case-by-case basis with the district. And we should mention that Keyshawn is still in Paul Dawson's classroom. Dawson has been with the district for 20 years, and Keyshawn is still in that classroom because Dawson is an honors English teacher. There are very few honors English classes, so he is still with him.
Well, now he was suspended for a while, but is he back teaching?
He is back teaching now, and he still does have his job. But this is not the first time that Paul Dawson has been suspended from Jefferson County Public Schools. Coming up at 5:30, we'll tell you what happened before. We'll tell you about his plan to appeal the suspension and why the district says that he should keep his job. Thank you very much.
It was a horrible Jewish joke. I just want you to know
What?
it was a horrible Jewish joke, is what he said. That's what he. That's
Oh,
what
was
I know, I was saying he just done a bunch of horrible Jew jokes.
Is that
was
what
the
he
other
did?
thing. No, I know that's a real newsreel. I've never looked up like the follow up to that, but he was immortalized in a show called Boondocks.
Oh yeah.
Where they drew a character that had that same exact incident, and he was like, can an N-word bar a French fry? He did the whole thing with the cue cards and all that stuff. It was great. So that guy's a legend in my circles.
Okay. All right. Well, I had another thing that I wanted to share with you. Maybe I'll cover. Yeah. So I happen to be a fan of Nate Freeman. This is in my side stories, right? This is sort of like the side filler things. I'm like, I don't know where to just list this off.
Yeah, just
so this is it. This is it right here. You know who Nate Freeman is, right?
Yes.
He exposed how orchestrated these anti-Iran protests are in New York. Okay.
Okay.
Check this out. Even as a confrontation with this woman here.
All right, so you can see that none of this is grassroots. This is all paid for.
Look at that.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Where are we headed with these signs? Where are we going here? You guys are saying that this is grassroots, but this does not look very grassroots. You guys doing this for free? Show this to people that say that any of this is grassroots. Show it to them. Show them this clip. So all these signs that you see laid out right here are going to Columbus Circle for a protest that Roy Neville Singham is paying for, okay? A CCP billionaire who's trying to sow division into this country.
A review of public disclosure form shows that multimillionaire Singham and his wife Evans have donated over 20.4 million to the People's Forum from 2017 to 2022 through a series of shell organizations and donor advisory groups, accounting for nearly all of the group's funding, according to New York Post. So it's his organization.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a donor. It's his organization. It's nearly all of their funding is coming from him.
Gotcha.
He needs to be looked at, Roy Neville Singham. Oh, here we go, more signs. Oh my God, is this enough, guys? Wow. So let's just see roughly how many signs these are. They all say PSL. Probably George Soros is involved with PSL. PSL's fiscal sponsor is the Progress Unity Fund, and we know from last episode that the sponsor of the Progress Unity Fund is the Tides Foundation. George Soros gave the Tides Foundation $40 million. Answer Coalition, Progress Unity Fund. If you look at this over here, you can see answercoalition.org, which is funded by the Progress Unity Fund, which is
and it gets confusing because they use one organization after another with all very similarly sounding names. You know, you sort of like Progress Unity Fund, People's Coalition, People's Forum. They intentionally try and use these overlapping type of names in order to mask, you know, that it just is like, yeah, it's just general progressive type stuff, and you don't really think about who's behind it. I'm convinced that that's part of the game plan here.
Yeah, just come up with some generic action sounding name and
Yeah.
run with it.
Yeah.
Funded by George Soros. So you got George Soros and you got Roy Neville Singham funding millions of dollars into this country, trying to sow division. And now everyone will see that none of this is natural. It comes from an office that he owns called the People's Forum. Where to now? We're going to Columbus Circle, I thought. You see American flag in there? No. Palestine, Cuba, huge Palestine flag for socialist literature. Okay? This is about socialism. Don't be mistaken. This is not about Palestine. This is about instilling a socialist Marxist hellscape inside of the United States. Right now, they have no choice because we checked to see, right? We checked to see that if they have a back door and didn't see a back door. So they've got no choice but to come out here and a van's going to drive up and I'm going to load the signs in. Okay, so this guy's going to drive up and they're going to load all the signs into this car right here. Alrighty? Come with me.
He's got brass balls, this guy. So this is not an easy thing to do when you're standing there in front of them. I tip my cap to this guy because it's like sort of like, you know, you're going into the lion's den here, you know?
Yeah.
So I give him,
they will assault you. They will mess you up. They will.
Yeah.
Try. Like we've seen them do it for years. They're a little less violent, you know, like this time around, and that makes me nervous, to be honest with you, because in 2016, you know, you had the concrete milkshakes, you had the flagpoles filled with cement, you know, you had a lot of people getting. That's how you got Andy No. That's how you got like all these big names, because they were getting just the hell beat out of them every time they would go and do this exact thing.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Them
That's
not
true.
being violent makes me like that calm, cool makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. Let's be honest, you give lefties creative freedom when you wind up with artistic installations and nobody knows what the hell is going on. Yeah.
Here we go. Let's load them all into this van. You hired a service for this? Back up. Let them get inside. Alrighty. Roy Neville Singham paid these folks $20 million through the Goldman Sachs Philanthropy Fund, a donor advised fund. He did it honestly, but he was caught. This is obvious sowing of division in the United States. If Elon Musk had not bought an X, these people would have won. See for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Witness this.
What is wrong
What is wrong with
you are
us?
such
Why-
a cowardly
what-
piece of shit.
why-
You are.
Why? How am I?
pays you?
Who pays me? You.
The only thing that, like, the stupidest insult for him is cowardly, because he's coming to you and exposing you. That's not cowardly. That's actually, it's brass cojones.
YouTube pays me. My viewers pay me
How much
by
money do you
watching.
get? This is not real journalism. You're a fake, you're complete fake
Okay.
journalist.
Did
gotta
you or
leave
did
these
you
people
not get
alone.
$20 million from Roy Neville Singham to protest? Did you or did you
How
not?
much money do you get for your right-wing bullshit? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so you can look on YouTube on Social Blade. You can see exactly how much I earned. Yeah, take a photo of me as if there isn't already a photo. Why are you taking a photo of me as if you don't already know who I am?
I don't understand.
You're all sick of me. So what are you gonna do about it?
What am I going to do about it?
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Well, I don't have to do anything about it because you don't bother us that much. You don't do
Clearly, I
anything.
am because you're videoing
You're,
me.
you're just a complete idiot. You're a fake journalist.
I'm a
I
fake
hope.
journalist.
I think that you should.
What have I done that's
feel
fake?
Ashamed of yourself every single day.
You
You're a
should feel
coward.
ashamed for
You're here
yourself
on a
for
public-
sowing
you're on a
division
public
and
sidewalk. Get a real job. Be a real journalist and do something for something in your life. Do
how
something.
can you say with a straight face for me to get a real job? How can you keep a straight face and say that? Did you or did you not get $20 million from Roy Neville Singham? You can't deny it. There it is. Meet Layan Fulihan. She's a paid protester. Her base salary is $70,000 with an
I love how he does this whole expose of whoever it is that just like accosted him. He's like, let me tell you everything about this woman who I was just interacting with. That's Leon Fulian.
additional compensation of $8,649. So who is this woman getting paid $80K a year to protest? Layan is a Columbia alum with a Palestinian background. She holds a full-time staff position as an educator at the People's Forum as she protests all around New York City. Here she is alongside Taher, another paid protesting leader that we've exposed. Roy Neville Singham pays Layan to travel. That's why you see her speaking in Washington, D.C. at another protest. None of this is grassroots. Know that. Here she is being paid to argue with the police as she blocks traffic outside Columbia University.
Get to the pen. You gotta go in the pen. You are blocking pedestrian traffic. You are blocking pedestrian traffic. I need to go in the pen because you're subject.
Here she is again with Taher alongside Mahmoud Khalil. When she's arrested, Singham is there to bail her out. You can see the People's Forum announced that her and David Chung, another paid protester who gets paid $75,000 a year to protest, were both arrested. You can get David Chung's Friedman file that consists of never seen before research right now if you scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description or in my bio. Layan speaks at the People's Forum about her Marxist agenda as she carefully and subtly ushers in Islam into the West. They actually teach classes advocating for Marxism at the People's Forum. Layan celebrated Hamas's atrocities on October 7th. She tweeted out on October 7th, "Long live the Palestinian resistance." She frames the US and Israel as joint imperialist forces committing engineered genocide.
Put an end to all U.S. imperialist complicity and engineered genocide against the Palestinian people and all oppressed people across the world.
Layan reposts words from Nasrallah, the former leader of Hezbollah, saying, "Who would have thought so many young people would support Palestine? This woman in America is being paid money to promote the words of terrorists who have killed American servicemen." Here she is speaking in Spanish in Venezuela at the International Solidarity Conference that Nicolas Maduro spoke at. Here she is defending the regime.
Yo soy de raíces palestinas y estamos en un mundo totalmente diferente, cambiado por la resistencia palestina, porque aunque veo cada día los horrores del imperialismo estadounidense, de los sionistas, lo que están haciendo a nuestro pueblo, yo realmente siento que estamos en un momento en que...
Anyway, so he does a great job breaking this down. I feel as if I've stolen too much from him already, but he does such important work. He does such important work that I feel as if I need to sort of call attention to some of the stuff that he exposes, because
yeah,
you know, this is the ultimate journalism, what he's doing. I mean, she's pretending it's not journalism. This is the ultimate journalism, where he's actually breaking stories about and showing on video evidence of what he's exposing, which is, it's remarkable work. So I tip my cap to that young man. He's
good job, bro.
No, he's great. He really is. The other thing I wanted to touch on also was tariffs, which I didn't know where to shove that in. So I'm gonna shove this
We're
in.
just gonna ham fist
This is the
tariffs in here. I got
miscellaneous.
you. Yeah,
We're gonna wrap up the miscellaneous section of the show, talking about tariffs. So, New York Post was breaking down. Wait, let me just make sure here. This is, yeah, that wasn't okay. So this is the New York Post breaking down how Trump is. This wasn't the link I wanted. Damn it! I need to redo again. See, I'm still catching up from yesterday. I'm still like dealing. I'm still dealing from yesterday.
Wait, you're still dealing with yesterday, and in what way, Joe? That sentence just sort of ended. I'm still dealing yesterday. All right.
Yeah. No, I am. I'm still dealing, because what happened was I clicked on a link which was talking about tariffs that Scott Bessent was saying we're going to have 15% tariffs back in place. You're aware of the Supreme Court decision, which said that his tariffs were no good. And I wanted to touch on Section 232 tariffs, which are different from the tariffs that were struck down by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that tariffs implemented under the Emergency Powers Act are beyond the president's powers, and they wiped those away. And a lot of people felt like, oh, okay, I guess Trump doesn't have tariffs anymore. But the answer to that, Trump was like, no. They left open a large section of tariffs that I'm still able to do, and other vehicles I can use, which are pretty much the same thing as tariffs. I'll even call them tariffs. It's just not the nature of tariffs that the Supreme Court just struck down. And I thought people might want to know which tariffs still remain in place. And that's why I wanted to break that down for you, because I thought you need to know this.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this was, as the New York Post reports here, this is going to be a little bit too big for you to see it. Let me do it this way. There we go. That's a little better. Many of Trump's so-called reciprocal tariffs on foreign nations have been tossed out, though the president has warned there are other ways for him to enforce the import taxes. Here are the industries still facing steep tariffs as of Friday, and this is going back a week or two. Foreign vehicles and auto parts are still facing 25% tariffs, which Trump slapped on the sector last year in an attempt to push automakers to boost manufacturing in the U.S. Now, personally, I'll tell you this: I'm not a huge fan of industry building tariffs. What do I mean by that? Tariffs serve different functions, right? So they can be to raise revenue. It could be for the purpose of trying to motivate other countries to reduce their tariffs. In other words, you have tariffs against us. If we put tariffs in place, that's going to hurt you. So that becomes a tool for Trump to come in there and say, hey, we're going to drop our tariffs only if you drop yours. And that ultimately helps Americans. You following me so far?
So far, yes.
This that he's describing is a third type of tariff, which I'm not a big fan of, which is that, well, we can't compete with you because you're too good at this. So we're going to tariff your thing and drive up the price. And that way our own folks can compete. Our domestic producers can compete. Because to me, that's artificially bulking up the price in the marketplace for the purposes of giving a job to folks domestically who cannot compete on the international stage. Are you understanding me?
So far, I'm with you.
So in other words, let's assume that you're a car manufacturer and you're like, hey, it costs me $25,000 to produce a car similar to your car that you're selling on the market for $20,000.
Gotcha.
And I need to also make some money. So when I'm making this $25,000 car, I got to sell it for $30,000. right? So, because I'm putting investment of money and time and effort, I got to make something on this, so I got to sell 30.
Yeah.
So now this other car that is being made, that's a similar value, similar quality type of car that's being made and imported here, that the cost to them is $22,000 and they sell it for $27,000. So what we say is, oh, okay, we're going to tariff you $3,000, and that way our local people here can compete with you.
Yeah.
That over here to me is now propping up the American industry, American automotive industry, to the detriment of the American consumer. Because it's not a matter of we're saying, oh, you're not treating us fairly, we can't sell our cars over there. It's no, you're doing it better than we are. That's essentially what it's saying. You're doing it better than we are. You have a way to make it cheaper. We can't really compete, so we're just going to artificially boost up and jack up the price of your stuff, make the consumers pay that money, rather than enabling the American consumer to get a same car for $27,000 instead for $30,000. So you're really favoring the American industry, the American automotive producer and distributor over the consumer, over the American consumer.
At that point, though, you're allowing the American auto industry to be able to sell a lesser valuable car by doing that.
Well, or a less efficiently produced car.
100%, yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah,
I'm starting with it being the same type of car, the same value.
Are they doing that on cars that are built here? So, like, say there's a Toyota plant in Tennessee, and they're building them and doing them here. Are they getting tariffs like that? Because
so you're saying that that's now a matter of trying to create jobs domestically.
Yes.
Right. So, and I understand you. That's a really good question you're asking. I doubt that they are. They probably are favoring them for producing here. But even so, I don't think whether you're doing it to help the manufacturer or to help American workers have a job here, I don't think that's the role of our government. That's not what our government is supposed to be doing.
I agree with that. I mean,
it's like you're deciding how to manipulate the market in order to sort of make it more favorable.
We're controlling the free market at this point to try to make it more favorable for us.
Not for us Americans generally, but for
the American auto
group.
Yeah,
or it's either the American auto industry or people looking for a job in Detroit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like specific groups of people.
Well, the
are
auto
now
industry
being
is so spread out over the country now because of the union laws and stuff like that. But that's but we are
the American auto worker, right?
Yeah, that's where. So we're propping that up. I would say it's the industry, not just the worker. We're propping up the industry because I don't think the workers are benefiting from any of this. They're probably not getting any extra pay and working twice as hard. So,
right. And that's why when they're saying which Trump slapped on the sector last year in an attempt to push automakers to boost manufacturing in the U.S. So what he's basically saying is, like what you were asking, if you make in the U.S., in that case, hey, Mercedes, if you build a plant here, in that case, you're not going to face tariffs for what you sell here.
That is a very Jewish statement for you to say, hey, Mercedes. About 90% of your audience drives Toyotas. Okay? Hey, Mercedes. Oh.
I thought you were saying it's a very Jewish statement because they're a German car manufacturer, and my people would never buy a German car. I grew up in an era where it was like no, eat the pig instead of buying a Mercedes.
I exclusively drive Audis and Volkswagens.
Do you?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I've never driven. I don't know if I've ever ridden in a German car.
I'm gonna come pick you up one day.
No.
And you're gonna take me to that kosher pizza place.
Roll on up there with the grills and the
in the Audi. I'm gonna do it. It's got very nice leather seats, man.
Yeah. No, I actually had a friend who had a German car, and he's like, no, I bought it used. So he's like, that makes it okay. Because they already got their money from it, so that makes it totally okay.
Let me ask you.
And I'm just like,
let me ask you this: is it me driving a German car that's the problem, or my vanity tag that's spelled NOTZ?
Okay, that's not cool.
So it's the vanity plate that's the problem. I would have to fix that before we could go to the kosher pizza place.
I've got to find new friends. So, yes, I'm not a fan of this type of tariffs where it's designed to help boost a particular industry. To me, that's why are you doing it for them, not the sign makers? Like you're just signed to play favorites here. I just don't like it. The White House has reached deals with several foreign nations, including UK and Japan, to lower those auto tariffs to 10 to 15%. Trump administration also announced a deal with South Korea, though it's unclear whether rates on the nation have been lowered yet. In the meantime, automakers based in the U.S. and overseas. So that type of tariff, by the way, is not part of the IEA, the International Emergency, authorization powers thing that he was using. So those never went away, even after the Supreme Court decision. That's what they're basically, as the article is breaking down. So Mercedes-Benz last week said its 2025 earnings were more than halved on a massive $1.2 billion hit related to the tariffs, and warned that more challenges are on the way. So this is showing, by the way, that the tariffs are definitely having an effect. I have been in a German car. I have a photo. Oh, you drive a German car. I didn't take note. I met master debater. We actually went out for coffee together. So when he was in town here,
that's a nice meet cute.
And he gave me a ride over there. So he's saying I have been in a German car.
Do you even know how to drive? I'm the lure of you always in the passenger seat sometimes fascinates me.
I drive way too often. That's the problem.
That's the issue. Therein lies the problem. Okay.
Yeah, I missed this chat here, which I want to pull up. You're missing the point about tariffs. So let's see what we got here. Printer God is one of my OG over here. He's been following me for like 4 years. They rebalance the market from being undercut by predatory international cheap labor and enhance our manufacturing base, which brings down prices. China is subsidizing, not a free market. So I will say this, and I think I will agree with you, Printer God, that to the extent that we're dealing with trade barriers that our local domestics are facing because they're dealing with folks who engage in slave labor like they do in China. That I get. That I'm okay with, because basically it's not, because what that really is saying is that the Chinese, when we're talking about them specifically and their ridiculously low levels of wages, that the only reason the price of what they're producing is so low is because they don't have any labor costs, because they're engaging in unethical treatment of their workers. So with respect to that, it's now, of course, if you don't have labor costs, you're going to be able to sell to the market much more cheaply than someone who does have typical labor costs. So in that context, I'm glad you brought this up, because this is like a really important distinction that I feel it's very important for me to make. In that context, when we're helping our domestic people compete by jacking up the price there, what we're really saying is we're not tolerating your unethical treatment of your own employees. In other words, that Americans are going to see two products. One of them is going to be cheaper than the other. They're going to buy the cheaper one, which comes from China. And the only reason it's cheaper is because they were whipping little children into doing for free. I'm drawing an extreme example here, but you understand what I'm saying, that they're basically engaging in slave labor there. So now, instead of having to pay $2,000 for your couch, you can pay $1,200 because there's no labor involved. I'm just making numbers up here, right? So there, if you want to say, hey, the reason it's fair to charge a tariff on the Chinese in this setting is because we're basically saying, hey, American citizens, we're not going to let you benefit from the slave labor that they're engaging in over there. We're not going to let you say, oh, I'm saving money, it's cheaper, and I can buy 3 couches for the price of 2 if I buy Chinese. It's like, well, yeah, that's because you're basically encouraging them to keep enslaving and abusing their employees. So we don't want you to do that. So the way we discourage you from doing that is by putting tariffs on. That's less a matter of making the furniture market here domestically compete in a way that's, you know, more efficient. It's a matter of saying we're not going to let you face consequences for your inefficiency. It's saying the way China reached that efficiency, the way they managed to produce it so cheaply, was by being so unethical and so evil that they're able to use their evilness in order to present a quote unquote bargain for the American consumer. Well, we're not going to let the American consumer get a bargain because we don't tolerate their practices and how they deal there. In that setting, you're basically making a point. It's not even a matter of trying to enable your own domestic manufacturers to compete. It's a matter of saying we're not going to let the American consumer benefit from slave labor. And that I'm totally fine with. That to me makes sense, because now you're making an ethical decision as to like, hey, we're not going to let you cut corners here and basically help perpetuate further abuses of enslaved workers. So that I'm fine with. I'm talking about when you're comparing, let's say, in Europe, where they're paying their employees and they're able to produce something more efficiently and more cheaply and bring it to market here without cutting those corners. In that circumstance, I say to try and give a leg up to the American producer, that's now you're playing favorites for reasons that don't have any sort of ethical bases, and it's basically saying, well, we want to keep this industry around here. And to me, I'm just like, tell the American manufacturer, do it better. Find a way to do it more cheaply, more economically, so you can compete rather than having the government bail your ass out. But I don't know. You see the distinction there?
I do. I can see your point of view, but you also
if you disagree, I'd like to hear your feedback on it.
No, I really don't disagree. I think you're correct on that. I wish I did, so I could push back on it a little bit and give a little bit better show. But at this point, no, I agree with you.
All right. Well, anyway. But today, Scott Besson said that within the next 3 months, we're going to be back up to 15% tariffs across the board. And yeah, I want them to follow the Constitution. If they find a way to do it that's ethical and comports with that, I say God bless. But so I just wanted to keep sort of I covered the tariffs a couple of weeks ago when this first broke, so I just want to sort of update and let you know about those developments that are coming down the pike. But I also want to let you know about updates that are going on in Iran.
Ooh, yeah, that's one that I was not following, but I was paying attention to, though.
Yeah, let me just get to this real quick. Hans says Chinese slave labor are not the issue anymore. China has automated its industry 4 times faster than all the others. No need for slave labor anymore when automation took over. Luzon says, Joe, ask Grok what the import tax is on U.S. cars into these other countries. BMW hates this because they don't build in the U.S., but Mercedes does, so they don't get hit with the tax. That is an interesting question. Let's ask Grok that question. Should we ask? Let's ask Grok this question. Let's see. I like that question. Hey, Grok, you there?
Yeah, right here. What's up?
I don't like Grok's voice with you.
Yeah, Joe. How's it going, big guy? Love the new shaved face.
Let me see if I can find a different. All right, is this better for you?
No, it's no. You do whatever sultry man voice you need.
Hey, Grok, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Is that better for you?
That actually sounds like a guy I know in real life.
All right. Quick question for you. What is the import tax on U.S. cars when we ship to Europe?
Checking that real quick. Right now, the EU standard import tariff on passenger cars from the US is 10%, though that 2025 trade deal aimed to drop it to 0 if both sides followed through. From what I see, it's still sitting at 10% as of March 2026. No big changes confirmed yet. Could vary by model or extras, plus VAT on top when you land it.
How high is the VAT?
VAT varies by country, but let's check Europe real quick. VAT on imported cars depends where in Europe you're shipping to. It's the destination country's standard rate, slapped on top of the car value plus shipping, plus that 10% tariff. Germany's at 19%, France 20, Italy 22, averages around 21 or 22 across the EU. No special break for cars, just the usual VAT, calculated on the full landed cost.
Wow. So it's 19 plus 10%.
No, not quite. It's 10% tariff first, then 19% VAT on the whole thing after. So yeah, it stacks. Say a $50,000 car lands at $55,000 after tariff, then VAT hits that 55, ends up around $65,000 total before registration. Brutal.
Yeah, the VAT sounds worse than the tariffs.
Yeah, honestly, VAT's the real killer.
Let me show. So
now you're going to change it back to the other one.
You thinking about importing one anyway?
No,
or just
stop it. I thought I turned you off.
Hey, Joe, why don't you change it to that other voice? We talked so long last night when you were drunk that none of those words mean anything to you.
Oh, Lord. All right. Just in, Pentagon releases unclassified footage of U.S. submarine blowing up Iranian warship with torpedo. Want to see that?
Yes, 100%.
The Pentagon Wednesday released epic footage of a submarine blowing up an Iranian warship with a torpedo. First sinking of an enemy ship by torpedo since World War II. The U.S. has sunk more than 20 Iranian ships in Operation Epic Fury. Last night, CENTCOM added a Soleimani-class warship to the list. The U.S. said it's in the Indian Ocean, an American submarine sunk an Iranian warship that thought it was safe in international waters, Hexa said. Let's hear the quote from him here.
In the Indian Ocean,
See?
and we'll play it on the screen there, an American submarine sunk an Iranian warship that thought it was safe in international waters. Instead, it was sunk by a torpedo. Quiet death.
Quiet.
The first sinking of an enemy ship by a torpedo since
Quiet
World War II.
death.
Like in that war, back when we were still the War Department, we are fighting to win. In the India.
So there you go. Let's check out this footage here. I when I saw this, I was like a little bit confused about like what we're seeing here, but let's.
What are you confused about? How are you confused about that? It was big boom.
Our doctor prescribed this.
Oh, Joe, no, I don't know. What are we doing? Where's the show gone?
I don't know why it did that.
What these ads are customized to you.
So much. You okay there?
Correct myself. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at this.
I didn't know this new hair formula could do this to my hair. Before you blow another $100 on prescription drug.
Get you an ad blocker for the love of God. See?
Look at this. Look at this. I just wanted to watch it a second time, and I'm getting all this stupid. Oh my God.
People said you're not alone, Joe. I can't.
There we go.
Oh.
What's happening in Minnesota is contagious.
What the heck? I can't. They're not letting me see it a second time. It's just not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening.
I feel like you're having some internet dysfunction.
Watch this.
If there's a
Same
pill for
phone,
that.
Same distance. Two completely
What is
different
happening?
results. On the left, your phone is doing that fake digital zoom.
Oh my
It
God.
just makes the blur.
Stop it. Stop it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Look at all these stupid pop-ups. All right. I guess we're not seeing it again. I guess we're not seeing it. I'm getting roasted by Roots. All right. Some 150 lost, 32 rescued after Iranian warship sinks off Sri Lanka. Lord. All right. I'm going to Brave. Now I'm going to Brave.
You should have started on Brave, buddy.
At least 150 people were missing and several were confirmed dead after an Iranian warship sank off Sri Lanka Wednesday following an explosion reported by crew members, officials said. Sri Lanka's Navy rescued 32 sailors from the frigate Iris Dina, but hopes were fading for 148 other sailors, the island's foreign minister and defense officials said. The source was unclear about the reported explosion involving the frigate, which was traveling after reportedly attending a military exercise in India's east port of Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam. I think I got that. This sinking comes as war has broken out in the Middle East after Israel and the United States launched strikes against Iran. Foreign Minister Vijitha Herath told Parliament that 32 rescued Iranians were rushed to the main hospital in the island's south, while 2 Navy craft and plane were deployed to search for survivors. The frigate issued a distress call at dawn Wednesday, and within less than an hour, a rescue vessel reached the area about 40 kilometers south of the southern port of Gao, the minister said. But the frigate had completely sunk and only an oil patch remained when the Navy rescue boats approached. That was just deadly. That was really deadly. Not that I could see it. I was just busy facing ads and stuff of that nature. So, yeah, an opposition legislator asked in Parliament whether the vessel had been bombed as part of the ongoing U.S.-Israeli attacks against Iran, but there was no immediate response. Well, Pete Hegseth gave you the response. He's like, oh, we totally did that. We totally did that. They were surprised, I guess, because they they didn't see a missile strike from the sky. That's the normal way that we've been downing these ships. It's the first time in 80 years that we blew up a ship with a torpedo. So, yeah, there you go. So that's my update for you as to what's going on in the Middle East.
Yay, war.
What
I'm supposed to say, right?
Well, no, I'll ask you your thoughts on it. What are your thoughts about this whole engagement?
I don't want any involvement in it at all. Period.
Okay.
I hate it. I hate it for the Iranian people. I hate it for I hate it that they lost their westernized country back in, what was it, the 60s or 70s. I hate all that. I hate that Ayatollah did all that, blah blah blah. But I come from a family of men who were over in the Middle East from the time I was a little kid until the time I was, in my 30s. And I'm just, as long as we don't put boots on the ground, sure. But normally that's not how that works. And so that I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't like it. And it just always domino effects later to more and more and more. So
it's a fair take.
Yeah,
that's a fair take. I mean, my position on this is that I'm willing to give Trump more latitude than any other leader, just because of how effective he's been on the international stage.
Agreed. Yeah.
And once he puts boots on the ground, and I basically, even with that, I'm like, look, you're really not very clear about what the objective is as to why we're there, which that makes it harder to sell,
Yeah.
Like we really don't know anything about what the objective is here. Like when are you leaving? One of my criticisms of getting engaged in helping Ukraine is no one could spell out what the objective was.
Yeah.
So if you can't spell out the objective, you're sort of like, well, that just feels like a forever war. When you can't spell out objectives, that's I've said many times the difference between a movement and a mob is a movement can set forth their objectives, and it's the same is true with respect to military engagement. If it's just we're attacking you for the sake of attacking you, I have a real problem with that. if you can't tell me what, when we're done, what will make us done, that we can plant our flag and say, we're done here, we're coming home, then it just feels as if you're just a mob. And that's why I said, like, BLM, I contrasted when I'm talking about movements. I was like, when you look at the women's rights movements of the early 20th century, and they're like, we can't vote, we want to be able to vote. That's our objective. So that's a movement which has a chance, because you're stating what your goal is. If your goal is equality, that's very amorphous. That means something different to every different person. And that's what BLM was all about. And that's why I was like, this is not a movement. A movement means we're here and we want to move to there. But you have to be able to say where there is. And it's the same thing for me when it comes to military. If you tell me your objective is in Ukraine, we want to kill Putin, okay, that's your objective. But tell us that's what your objective is. If you tell me your objective is to make sure that there's no Russian military in the country, okay, that's an objective. But no one would say that. No one would say when they were done. And that's why I was like, that makes it like BLM, not like the first wave feminism movement. The problem I have with current feminism is they already have their equal rights. What are you fighting for at this point? You don't know when to go home. And it's the same thing like we were in Afghanistan. I think the parallels between a movement being a healthy thing and a military engagement being a potentially healthy thing are very similar in these two arenas. So I will say that Rubio tried defining it the other day, and I'll share this with you as to what our current objective is. And I meant to share this last night, but something happened that I just somehow missed it. I don't know why. But so here's him trying to spell out what our goal is. I think this is the right clip. I'm hoping this is.
With a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible.
There's all sorts of claims that the reason that a lot of people in the woke right are screaming that that Rubio had basically gone on record as saying that we were pulled into this war by Israel. And a lot of people on the woke right are like, yeah, that's, Israel is manipulating us. And they're using that to basically say that we shouldn't be engaged here. And they're taking what he said in order to try and put forward that claim. So he's trying to correct the record on that.
Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy.
So those are the two objectives: to eliminate the ballistic missiles and to eliminate the threat posed by their Navy. That's a very audacious goal. That scares me.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like you're looking at being there for years. To me, that's a very scary thing.
That's my point. That's exactly my point.
If you could tell me that we're out of there in 6 weeks, I'm like, okay, fine. But this doesn't sound like that to me.
Yep.
So
it's not going to be.
I don't know.
Particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true, because in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
So people are using that to say, you see, because you knew Israel was going to attack, and now you're going to get attacked, so now Israel's dragging you into the war, which is a kind of backward type of perspective, because it's like, well, if the reality is that they're going to attack, so now you're going to get attacked and you're getting mad at Israel. It's like, well, why would Iran come out there? You should be mad at Iran saying, well, if we get attacked by Israel, in that case, we're going to go bomb America. Like, that's, you should say you're going to go bomb Israel. You're going to bomb, that would make sense. So there was another clip of Trump being asked, and I got to see if I can take this up, of Trump being asked whether Israel dragged us into this war or not. Let me see if I can pull this up. I want to see if I can just dig this up for you real quick. Trump, Israel. It's a short little clip, but it was an interesting. I think this is it. And here it is. Oh, stop it. Just wanted to share it with you guys first. President Israel forced your hand to launch these strikes against Iran. Did that force the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we have great negotiators, great people who do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first. And I didn't want that to happen. So if anything,
people are complaining the sound isn't loud enough. So let me try and jack this up a little bit. I'll start it over. This is sounding a little soft.
President Israel forced your hand to launch these strikes against Iran. Did that force the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we have great negotiators, great people that do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first. And I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand. But Israel was ready and we were ready, and we've had a very, very powerful impact.
President Israel.
You're asking, is being there for a year really that bad? And my answer to that is yes, it is really bad. Certainly politically. And if you care about if you're someone who's sitting there, America first, and you're like, hey, if we're getting engaged in a war here, and God forbid we put boots on the ground and we see thousands of people dead, this is going to decimate us in midterms. So that's a serious concern, because now his whole agenda can be kiboshed because of this war.
Yeah, every bit of it.
Yeah, so that seems like too steep a price to pay. The Ayatollah is dead. Whoever's in leadership there, whoever gets elected to leadership gets killed 10 minutes later by Israel. So, let Israel do whatever they want to do. Go tell Israel, go do whatever you need to do to get rid of the ballistics, and we're stepping back now. To me, I'm okay with that perspective. Now, like I said, if we're there for a few weeks, okay, fine. But if this is something that people are still talking about when we hit election season,
we're done though.
It's a problem. It's a serious
problem.
Huge
problem.
Yeah.
Mr. No Wars.
Yeah, you're saying no wars, and here we are. It's like, okay, if you get out of there now, you can say this is not really our war, it's Israel's war. Yeah. But if you don't get out of there, then everyone's like, the whole no new wars is crap. That's what they're gonna be saying. And they'll have a point. So speaking of elections, Texas had their primaries yesterday. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I did hear about this. Some of the Some of the most unliked people. I do believe he got primaried. My main one was Dan Crenshaw. Oh, laser-eyed Dan.
Laser-eyed Dan getting
The
yes.
boy got primaried, didn't he? Good
That
job.
is, he did get primary.
excited. I
Texas
can't
second
stand
congressional district primary elections. Representative Dan Crenshaw, former Navy SEAL, currently pink loser, who has clashed at times with President Trump, is facing a conservative challenger, State Representative Steve Toth. And Steve Toth wins the primary 50 by double digits, 15-point win. That's a landslide for an incumbent to lose by 15 points. He basically got Liz what's her name? Liz Cheney.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, he got Liz Cheney. So, do you know anything about Steve Toth?
I know nothing about that guy at all.
All right.
What do we got on him?
Tell me about Steve Toth.
Hi, Joe.
Hold up. Let me check who this Steve Toth guy is.
I don't like the condescending tone.
Steve Toth, Texas state rep from the Woodlands, born 1960, small business guy, ex-pastor, super conservative, ran the Mighty Oaks thing for vets with PTSD. Just yesterday, March 4th, 2026, he straight up beat Dan Crenshaw in the GOP primary for Texas's 2nd district. Big upset. Crenshaw outspent him like crazy, but Toth framed it as real conservative versus whatever Crenshaw is. Here's him looking all official. And yeah, that's the vibe. Sworn in, no nonsense. The race was about loyalty, ideology. Toth's headed to Congress if the general goes his way. Wild day for Texas politics.
So tell me, as an America First guy, why it is I should believe in this guy.
All right, let me dig on why he's your guy. Look, as an America First type, Toth's your dude because he just smoked Crenshaw, the guy who talked tough but kept voting for endless foreign aid. And
I don't need
soft
you
on
to tell me how terrible Crenshaw is. I know how terrible Crenshaw is. Why should I think he's not going to be another Crenshaw?
Fair point. Let's dig in. Because he ain't polished like Crenshaw. He's a Texas House vet who's been fighting the same battles you're mad about. Ukraine aid as waste. Calls Crenshaw a foreign policy hawk who ignores home. He's all border wall, no compromise. Says from the border to flooding, work ain't done. Pushes America First security. Peace through strength. Aid only if it helps us. Backed by Freedom Caucus, Ted Cruz, Turning Point, guys who hate rhinos. Voted hard right in Austin. Anti-CRT, pro-guns, anti-moderate. Look, he's not some eye-patch DC star. Here's him swearing in, looking like he means business. And yeah, that's the no BS face that just took down Crenshaw.
Okay,
Voters,
when you show me a picture in order to sell me on this guy, that sounds like the BS face that you're putting on this guy.
nah, that's not BS. Just him looking like a dude who
No, I'm
actually-
saying it sounds like you're trying to sell him to me. I want to know what policies he's pushed forward. That's what I care about. I don't care about some stupid picture of the guy.
digging into his actual record.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Wow, Brock's so condescending.
Digging into his actual record.
I'm just gonna keep repeating it, Joe.
Fair enough. No fluff, no picks. From his Texas House record and campaign site, he pushed hard on banning CRT and social transitioning
All
kids
right.
in schools.
I had to grab some
Got it through as model law. Sponsored bills tightening abortion pills, making them harder to get, plus civil suits against distributors. Border stuff? He served on appropriations, claims credit for billions in security funding, Operation Lone Star cash, wall pieces. But Crenshaw's camp hammered him for votes against specific police gear, grants, and some border bills, like one for law enforcement protection or flood fixes tied to migrant routes. Guns authored Firearms Protection Act to block feds from messing with Texas rights. Class A misdemeanor if they try. Pro 2A all day. Spending, back disaster relief, but he's anti-waste. Rails against federal overreach. Wants limited gov. No big foreign aid love. America First vibe means cut Ukraine checks.
All right.
Focus home.
Okay, so that then we're going to stop with you now because we're done with you. But I think that was informative. So hopefully he actually lives up to the billing. So that was good. That was a win, right? We can all be pleased about that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a couple of chats here, by the way. Browsers be snitching. Browsers be lying. Put Boston Dynamic boots on the ground. What are we doing here? What? I don't know. Boston Dynamics. Is that like WNBA team? Is that what that is? Promethean Actions, a 13-minute video on the Hormuz and Britain that gives another angle on what he's trying to accomplish there. Do I want to go to Promethean now? Really don't. Don't know if you're covered, but I'm proud to report from Texas that Jasmine Crockett was primaried out and conceded. You see, what are you trying to steal my thunder? Is that what you're about? Is that what you're about?
That's exactly it.
You trying to steal my thunder? What are you? Do you do me dirty like that? Come on. What do you think Come on. What do you think this show's about? We're working my way there. I'm working my way there. First, we're dealing with the we're dealing with the Republican side, and then we'll get to the Democrat side. Representative Tony Gonzalez advances to a runoff election after alleged affair with aide who fatally lit herself on fire. Did I cover this with you? The aide who lit herself on fire?
Yeah. I still think there's some foul play.
Yeah. So they had their primary against Brandon Herrera. You would tell me you're a big Brandon Herrera guy, right?
Yep. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. So why is it doing that? I don't want that. Representative Tony Gonzalez heads to another runoff with 2024 Texas GOP primary opponent after neither broke the 50% threshold to win their party's primary Tuesday night. Republican voters in Texas' 23rd Congressional District advanced the three-term congressman to a May 26th runoff election despite a dramatic personal saga about allegations of an affair with an aide who later killed herself. If you missed that, I did cover it a week ago with Sin, and where basically we went through text messages which make it pretty evident that this guy was having some sort of illicit relationship with a married woman who was a staffer, and then at some point after he broke off from her and she told people about it and her husband had found out about it and said he's leaving her, she went into her backyard, poured gasoline over herself, allegedly poured gasoline over herself and set herself on fire. And my co-host here said that he assumed it was foul play. She didn't do that to herself, but that someone else's hand was striking that match. Republican voters in Texas' 23rd Congressional District advanced the third term. Right. With about 3/4 of the vote counted, Gonzalez had 42.5% of the GOP primary vote. YouTuber, firearms enthusiast Brandon Herrera also had 42.5% support. Construction executive Keith Barton and former Representative Francisco Quico Canseco registered 8.5% and 6.4% of votes respectively and were eliminated from the race. The results come just weeks after allegations surfaced of an affair Gonzalez had with a staffer who fatally set herself on fire last year. Gonzalez's popularity had waned because he sucks. And with his heavily rural constituency in the border regions of West Texas between San Antonio and El Paso, a former District A noted due to his voting record, particularly on LGBT issues and gun control, meaning he sucks. That includes votes on codifying same-sex marriage into law in 2022, a bipartisan gun bill that incentivized red flag laws. What the hell's wrong with you? You're freaking Texas. You're codifying red flag laws. Nationwide, following the massacre of 19 students at a school in Uvalde the same year. Putz. Even his face just says putz. Look at that. Look at that. It's a putsy face.
That's a putsy face. That's it.
It's not?
It is. You're 100% right. He does nothing. He's just a dumb rhino. The eyeliner. I swear to God, he wears eyeliner.
He does. You can see it running under his eye. With this,
Yeah.
just something
You're
wrong
like a
here.
cross-dresser, Gonzalez.
Something wrong with this guy. It's the big fat cheeks, I think, also.
Yeah,
I don't feel he's doing enough for the border crisis to stop that, the red flag laws, and then the last straw was him voting for all the LGBT stuff, said a former aide who worked for Gonzalez at an office in Border County from 21 to 23. Gonzalez even got booed by some attendees when President Trump gave him a shout-out at an event touting U.S. energy. This is why it is that Trump supported him is just astonishing. Because that's his biggest weakness, is who to pick. Several of his fellow House Republicans had also been calling him to resign in the weeks leading up to the primary after text messages leaked between himself and his regional director, Regina Santos Aviles, fatally lit herself on fire in September. And House Speaker Mike Johnson said the accusations were very serious and urged Gonzalez privately to address the issue directly and head-on with his constituents. The Office of Congressional Conduct, yes. Anyway, so there's all this stuff about his issues that he's got here. He's also facing a House ethics probe now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good for Brandon, right?
Yeah, I think so.
House Ethics Committee is investigating Gonzalez for allegedly having engaged in sexual misconduct with a staffer and discriminated unfairly by dispensing special favors or privileges. 10-member bipartisan panel voted to set up an investigative subcommittee for the probe, according to Chairman Michael Guest and Ranking Member Mike DeSaulnier. The statement from the Joint Committee leaders didn't specify which staffer thought Gonzalez had faced allegations from Adriana Vilas that the lawmaker engaged in extramarital affair in May 2024 with Avala's late wife, Regina Santos Aviles. It's like, who the heck is looking for this guy? I mean, dude looks like a dyke.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Is that a bad word? Am I not supposed to use that word?
No, I think you're fine.
I was referring to those dam stoppers in Norway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he seriously, he is the look and build. It's like, how can anyone? I'm trying to understand what the heck is going through this woman's brain when she's engaging with that. I mean, look at this dude. Am I the only one who thinks he's something really creepy about him?
No, he has that creepy vibe. Like when you look at him, you go,
Yeah.
Something about him feels icky.
Yeah. Yeah.
He always looks moist. Every time I see him, he looks damp.
It's the hair. He's got like this mousse or something like that.
It's not just the hair. Like it looks like if somebody gave him a hug or shook his hand, it'd be damp. Like it would be,
just gross. Just gross.
But it's true.
It's just gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the committee notes that the mere fact of establishing an investigative subcommittee does not in itself indicate that any violation has occurred. So don't think that that's what happened, but you all know what happened. It's like, look, don't think that just because we're doing an investigation, that means something happened.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything nefarious is going on.
Yeah. So
what if we got it wrong and it was one of the guy staffers and everybody just assumed it was a girl? Ever thought about that?
That would be a shocking twist in this story. It would be a shock. I don't think that's what happened, though. Uzelen says, to be fair, the election rigged against Jasmine when her opponent went to the Late Show and put it out where Trump wouldn't let them show it. That was when she got a huge spike. CBS should be sued. I wanted to. Anyway, I'm getting there. I'm working my way there. We're almost there. Gosh, you guys are so excited about Jasmine. I'm working my way there. I got one more thing that I need to cover first. What's this? Cancel any time. Why are you doing this? Why are you... Where are you? I got a bad link there. Oh, here it is. So we covered. I don't remember my password. Oh my God. Sorry. All of a sudden they're asking me for passwords, and I never remember my passwords. And I thought my computer would have it here, and it didn't have it. So I'm just going to a different place, which I think will be faster if I just do it. If I just go to a different way. All right, we'll just go with Breitbart. Okay.
Let's go, Joe. All right.
Cornyn Paxton advanced to runoff in Texas primary. So Ken Paxton's in a runoff, much like Brandon Herrera is.
Mm-hmm.
Paxton is such an upgrade over Cornyn, I can't even tell you. Incumbent Senator John Cornyn overperformed most expectations Tuesday in his fight for a fifth term, advancing to a runoff in the Texas Senate Republican primary against AG Ken Paxton. The race was called by the AP at 10:50 a.m. with an estimated 65.8% of the vote in Cornyn led with 658,254 votes to 632,000 for Paxton. I don't know how the hell this loser's winning. Representative Wesley Hunt finished distant third with around 13% of the projected vote and will be out of the runoff.
All right.
He'll be out of the Washington Republican establishment, led by the National Republican Senatorial Committee, the campaign arm of Senate Republicans, pulled out all the stops to support Cornyn, making the race the most expensive Senate primary in history. Cornyn and his allies spent tens of millions to boost Cornyn and attack Paxton and Hunt. Their primary attack against Hunt was his poor attendance record in the House, both after and predating his last-minute entrance into the Senate race. Cornyn's allies quickly turned on Hunt after polls showed his initial surge could keep Cornyn out of a runoff. You see, the fact that this is why you should never give a penny to win red. Never, ever. You like someone, give them money. Fine. Never, ever, ever waste a dime of your money. The idea that they're fighting for their fellow incumbents and using your donations to fight for incumbents to try and help the senators that they like fight off against other people who are coming up there. This is such a ridiculous twisting of what the Republican Party should ever be. Democratic National Party, the Democratic Party has their own sicknesses and their own stupidities that they play favorites, and they'll kibosh Bernie Sanders or they'll kibosh jazz hands, but this is terrible. This is just, why are you involving yourself in a primary? It's tens of millions of dollars. The attacks against Paxton, who led throughout the race, were a different, intensely personal animal. Cornyn's campaign led the way, attacking Paxton over his divorce and allegations of infidelity, as well as many legal and ethical troubles, which Texas voters have mostly overlooked throughout Paxton's career. Cornyn himself said throughout the race that he could not in good conscience roll over for a man like Paxton to represent Texas and Washington. Judgment Day is coming for Ken Paxton. Judgment Day is coming for you, jackass. The discrepancy in spending, Cornyn and his allies outspent Paxton and his supporters by roughly $69 million to $4. $69 million. This guy emptied the war chest going after Paxton. He's such an a-hole. And I don't think he's going to win. Instead of eating into Paxton's support, Cornyn's spending appeared to peel off support from Hunt, whose distant third place finish underperformed most polling, but likely represented widespread belief amongst voters that Cornyn and Paxton were the viable candidates. Cornyn's stronger than expected finish might not be enough to entice additional investment from donors. Hunt supporters did not defect to Cornyn on election day, are likely more inclined to support Paxton in a runoff. Let's pray that's true. Yet the establishment, campaign organizations, and wealthy interests backing Cornyn campaigns are unlikely to give up without a fight.
Yeah, I'm 3-0. I've won 3 statewide races. So, it's really easy for him to say that when he's losing a primary because he's not delivered for the people of Texas.
It's Ken
And he's
Paxton.
going to find out tomorrow what that means. He's going to end up losing because he did not take care of his people over the last 24 years in the Senate. This idea that I can't win a race is not true, and the polling doesn't demonstrate that. There's no evidence what he's saying is being true.
I don't know what the deal with
But I
his
think
eye
the evidence
is.
is just the opposite.
Looking at the coming day and the likelihood that we will see a runoff, are you going to engage with
Gonzalez
at all
danced
or
at the
anybody
Blue Oyster on the weekends.
to your side if the margin proves pretty wide?
Thanks, chat. You woke me up.
Or any of the reasons. I'm here primarily first to represent Texans. So while I appreciate them, my number one thing that I care about is the people of Texas. But I'm also happy to work with them now and in the future. I have no plans of not working with them. But ultimately, I'm responsible first and foremost to the people of Texas.
Last one. Yep. If this does go to a runoff, it's been an expensive race so far. It's going to get a lot more expensive. A, do you have the money to compete in the runoff? And B, what about the president and any endorsement down the road?
Look at it's. I think John spent $100 million. What a waste of money. That money should have been going to Republicans in other states, not fighting another Republican. It doesn't make any sense unless the idea.
That's win red. They suck.
And not Republicans. This is not the way to go. Hopefully they'll stop that spending and start using it in places where we're using it against the Democrats and not fellow Republicans.
For the president?
He makes up his own mind, as we all know. The president makes up his own mind. I have a lot of respect for him. I've been a fan of his ever since he became president the first time, actually, even before that.
So there's Ken Paxton. We wish him well in his endeavor to unseat Cornyn, who's a disaster. And finally, you may have heard that Jazzy Jazz, she's out.
I didn't hear that one. We didn't get. You were so white girl wasted, as I like to call it. We didn't get to that one. We got to like Crenshaw and then someone else, and then yeah. I'm glad that people like Crenshaw are gone. I'm glad that Gonzalez is gone. I'm sick of these people going up there.
Well, Gonzalez is not gone yet, but
well,
hopefully.
Fingers crossed. I'm gonna put it on my prayer list.
Yes.
I'll pray Joe grows his beard back and Gonzalez is gone.
That's definitely should be the top of your list right there. I didn't check my poll. Where's my poll at here? Let's see what we got. 500 votes. Okay. So fine, 544 votes, and like basically 100 people say I should keep it clean. So there you
go. Really?
Yeah, 100. That's 100. That's even more than 100. Unfortunately, that's like only 20%.
Did you ask which way Lady Logic voted on the poll?
32% say full beard, and the winner is by 48% is trimmed beard.
Here we go.
I didn't ask whether trimmed means close cropped, or when I used to have is I would have like a line like this, and then
like a chin strap, like
a chin strap type of thing.
I think it's close cropped. I'd go close cropped if it was me. I still demand that before you grow it back, you give me the Charlie Chaplin for one show. I think that would by far be one of the funniest things you could ever do, Joe. I'm just throwing that one out there.
I don't think it's happening.
Come on, Joe. How much in super chats? Chat. How much to extort this man into the Michael Jordan or Charlie Chaplin mustache?
I would need $2,000.
$2,000.
I would
Good
need
Lord, you're taking the ass for what
you want
you're
me to
wanting?
wear? You want me to wear a Hitler stash for
I
a
didn't
show?
say that, guy. I never said that. I said the Charlie Chaplin or the Michael
I know
Jordan.
we all know what you're saying.
I am a fan of Chaplin. Okay.
For $2,000, I would do.
Famously, he trolled. Didn't Chaplin troll Hitler?
I don't know. I don't think he was trolling him. I think he predated Adolf.
Yeah, I thought he did like some stuff making
by
fun
like
of
20
Hitler.
years. So, yeah, no, that's like this. The internet lives forever. I know what would happen if I had that. I'm like, no, for that kind of hassle.
2K chat. Do you think 2K?
Do you know how much? Do you know how much grief I would? You know how much grief I would be getting from Lady Logic?
If you could give me a second to talk to my chat here, you're really being rude. You and Grok, you chat. Is it worth 2K? By the way, how is our GoFundMe? for your what was it? Your Washington Post?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh my God! Why did we forget about that? Have you even cashed it out?
I haven't. No.
You haven't even. I forgot about it. I hadn't even been promoting it.
I totally forgot about my GoFundMe. What was it called again? Go Fund. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna find it. GoFundMe. Isn't it supposed to? No, it's not GoFundMe. It's Give Send Go. That's why.
Give Send Go. Yeah.
Give.
Chat. All right. Honestly, Chaplin's movie, The Great Dictator, 1940ish. I told you. See, I know my Hitler lore.
Something wrong with you.
I'm just a lovable scamp. You know, that's what I get told all the time. Charmingly, devilishly handsome, and a lovable scamp, and a bit of a redneck.
It was Give Send Go. Like, oh, WAPO melted my brain, right?
Yeah, WAPO melted your brain. Yeah, full AI done it.
WAPO melted my brain.
Yeah, Chad, it is shocking how much younger Joe looks. He looks like 67 with no beard. Look at you. Look at you there.
Look at the difference in age.
WAPO melted my beard. So you were so stressed out that your beard melted off. Oh.
I'm very far from my goal of 700,000.
You still raised $183 though, Joe.
I did. For what? It was good. GiveSendGo.com/WAPO melted my brain.
Yeah, we haven't been promoting it.
One chilly morning, I found myself. Is that like a ton of bricks in months now? I've been immersed in an endless sea of insufferable articles written by twisted reporters with bias too thick to ignore. Yeah, it was horrible. It was really horrible. They melted my brain. You can even see my brain looks all melted in this one. Yeah. So there we go. It's at $183. So yeah, that'd be the best way to I guess get me the 2,000 is through that. I'll accept it through that. Let's cover Jasmine. Jazzy.
Let's do this.
All right.
You know.
We have a long history of knowing Iran trying to get people on our soil. One to assassinate the president in 2024 during the election. Another to try to kill a Saudi ambassador in 2011 at a D.C. restaurant. And then in between.
Okay. Why do they call that? You see it. All right. Representative Jasmine Crockett on Wednesday conceded to James Tallarico in the Texas Democratic Senate primary election. Crockett called on the Democratic Party to unify behind Tallarico, a state representative who clinched the nomination overnight. Texas is prime turn blue. We must remain united because this is bigger than any one person, Crockett said in a statement. This is about the future of all 30 million Texans and getting America back on track. Crockett's campaign had previously suggested that she would sue over voting challenges in the primary election. The spokesperson did not immediately respond to the AP's request for comment about these plans. In the general election, Tallarico will face the winner of the May GOP runoff election, either Cornyn or Paxton. With Grok's husky voice in your ear, that's pretty funny. So she basically is saying, I guess that's it. That's the whole article there from
That's it. Way to go.
I guess that's it. Yeah. I saw something. You ever see that video of her? I did want to share one more thing with you on her. Yeah, apparently she's done though. She's out. There's a little more I wanted to share with you on this story before I just let you all, before I dismiss class. before we dismiss the class, I want to share this with you. You want to know who James Tallarico is?
I would love that. Yeah, because we were talking about him last night, and I somebody said Tommy Tallarico, and I was like, that's a video game guy. What are we doing?
Here he is.
Is both masculine and is both.
He's talking about God here. Okay, he's speaking now about God.
Is both masculine and feminine and everything in between. God is non-binary, is both.
That's the Texas Democrat senatorial candidate saying God is non-binary.
That's pretty disgusting.
You have any thoughts?
What you doing?
Do you have any thoughts?
I didn't. WAPO melted your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Can I start a Gibson go for this guy? No, we can't. Stop it. Just stop. Just please quit. You're hurting me, Joe. Now you're hurting me with stories. This has become an abusive relationship.
I just want to know if you have any thoughts about,
It's blasphemy. It's disgusting. And I say the N-word, so.
Why do you think it's disgusting? He's saying that God is non-binary. You have a problem
You know
with that?
exactly why. Now you're going to gaslight me over this.
No, I just want to know. Look, he's a Christian, so he's presenting Christian dogma. He's talking about your faith.
Don't you dare say this is one of your people, Sin. Hey, Sin, this is one of your guys.
You think Tyler? It's not Tallerstein. It's
No, I'm saying
Tallarico.
don't throw that. Don't throw that in my lap and be. We have a lot of people that I call cultural Christians that wear the clothing of a Christian with none of the Christian values.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
God is clearly called the Father. He is clearly a male figure throughout the entire Bible, throughout all your books. He's not a female. He's not non-binary. He's not gender fluid. He's not gender confused. He's not a tranny. He's not chopping off his penis. He's not doing anything like that. He is completely considered a man. And the fact that this is said is absolutely disgusting, that anybody would even give this guy a modicum of attention and go, oh yeah, this guy's rational, let's vote him in, is wild to me. We have lost the plot. We have lost our way. It's insane. And it's insulting to Christians, because this is what we have to combat every day. Every single day, there's some new preacher or Methodist or whatever going in there and saying, oh yeah, lesbians can do this, and tranny people can do this, and all these things that are fully against the Bible from front to back, from cover to cover, and they just don't care. They just say it. They just throw it out there and say it, and they go, well, enough people don't read the Bible. Most people are ignorant. They just confess to love Christ and confess to go to church and confess to be a Christian, but they never sit down and study the word or learn the word, and they'll just believe it. And it's gross. Sorry, that made me mad.
Well done.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
As well done. Well said. So you're not happy about Tallarico being the new nominee?
Not at all.
And that's because the left basically shunted to the side a black woman. They said they worked very hard to make sure that he beat Jasmine Crockett. And I'm sad to see Jasmine Crockett go, because I'm gonna miss stuff like this.
That's a good song. What are they doing?
This is a congresswoman who wants to be a senator. So yeah, so people were after she lost, she was declared the loser. So folks were sort of mocking that little clip of her. And they created this. I thought you'd appreciate it. She can be working at Popeyes soon. No? You're still too mad. I'm sorry. I ruined his night.
You're fine.
He's still mad. He's still angry.
I'm sorry, man. I have to combat
angry.
this ignorance all the time.
He has to. He's still. I'm trying to bring him a little chuckle, and he's still all feeling a certain
All
way.
right, start it over. Run it back for me. You've got my full attention, my full undivided attention.
This
also,
is
my dog is now like throwing a bone down the hall. So
this is what they're saying ever since she lost. This is going to be her new gig.
Oh, please let the white women work at Popeyes. They get my order right. How do you screw up a chicken sandwich, ma'am? That is way worse than me saying the N-word.
What?
That's just blatant racism. They should have put a piece of watermelon in her hand, though.
No. You see, that's racist.
Black people can
They're
enjoy
saying
watermelon.
she's going to be working at Popeyes. That's how I took this. All of a sudden, you make it about like a particular food preference. That's what makes it racist. You see, you just took something that wasn't racist, looked at it in a very racist way, and made it more racist.
Sure. Yeah. That's of course I did. So black people aren't allowed to like, I don't know, Newport cigarettes, watermelon, or grape drink without it being a stereotype? Is that what you're saying, Joe? They're not allowed to enjoy things such as fresh fruits like bananas or watermelons, Joe?
Okay, now you're crossing lines.
What are you talking about? I'm literally talking about.
Now you're crossing lines.
Look, there's a high. No, there's a
line.
vast amount.
There's a line.
Let me explain
There's a line.
Yes.
You can dance all the way up to the line. You can dance. You can dance. I'm okay. You can do like your own little jig. You can do you can salsa.
Kendrick Lamar, they're not like us.
You can do your country line dancing, stupid, and grab the dozy doze and do it all the way up to the line. But you can't cross the line.
All right, but if you interrupted me.
Know where the line is. Know where the line is. That's something that's an understood thing, and never step on that side of the line.
Okay. so I'm tiptoeing right now because see now I'm giving good health advice here. There is a vast amount of the population of African Americans that suffer from heart disease and diabetes. And if they ate more fresh fruits, that stuff wouldn't happen. See?
I'm not even gonna like repeat what you said.
What?
What?
Why? What? Why? What's the deal? What's going on here?
Okay, so when you said watermelon and grape soda and fried chicken, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. You went one step further. That's where I was like, okay, now that's the line.
Do African Americans
That's the line.
Potassium.
That was the line. That was definitely the line. You knew where the line was. As soon as you knew exactly where the line was, and you said, "No, F it. I don't care about that line. I'm going like whoop, way over here on the other side
okay.
of the line.
Now
Hey, people on the other side of the line. Hey, I'm over here. Oh, so much space over here. Me and Nick Fuentes hanging out over here on this side of the line. Oh man, come on in. Dive on in. The water's fine.
It's warm over here. Don't worry about it. Now you're being judgmental.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, let me just wrap up some of these chats before I get thrown off of YouTube. Washington did not endorse foreign entanglements, but never foresaw foreign entanglements within the USA. This is true. He even said foreign entanglements as treaties. Like he was a big fan of that. I think I covered this where you said don't even cover, but I'm proud report from Texas. Jasmine Crockett was primaried out and conceded. Yeah, we definitely covered that. One chilly morning with Gross husky voice, that'd be great. I bet he supports medical pegging. That's probably talking about Gonzalez. Only for medicinal purposes. Pegging for medicinal purposes.
Wait, well, you could have scoliosis. You ever thought about that? It's sort of like an internal back brace.
Oh, God. You're dragging me to hell.
I'm not doing anything to you.
Chaplin trolled him in the movie The Great Dictator in 1940. It was his first sound movie. He played the roles of dictator and Jewish barber. Oh, okay. I want sins.
People. All right, go ahead.
I want Sin's opinion as to whether God has a wee and why.
Oh, so you want an honest opinion? I mean, I don't see why it would be necessary. I just don't see why it would be necessary.
So you're saying no?
Yeah, I mean, what is a PP used for? Right? It's procreation. Mm-hmm. He's not procreating like that. But if he did, it'd be massive, I would say. So there's my answer. Lock it in.
Okay.
What did you they asked me a question. Don't huff me. Huff the money you just put in your pocket.
Huff the money you just jewed into your pocket. Yeah. Sin can dance up to the line, but if he doesn't, we don't dance well.
That's true. We are white people.
National Banana Lovers of America, NBA.
See? There's everybody join me over here and leave Joe over there. We'll redefine our own new line.
Yeah, she did get, but it was only point that she got a huge spike when the when the whole thing happened with Stephen Colbert, and that definitely helped him a lot. You know, that whole fake news story there. That's what it was. But she got Bernie Sanders. That's what this was. She got, this is what they did to Bernie Sanders. And for a bunch of people who say we're all about women, we're all about minorities, for them to basically put another white-faced dude in over her is just typical. I mean, she was successful, right? She was able to raise money. She was able to make a nice little whiny speech whenever she wanted. What made her any different from AOC? She was just as stupid, probably technically more educated. But they just said, to hell with you. So, oh well. Anyway, thankfully, Kimmy gave me a final super chat here, so I don't have to end on that last one. He claims the first two lines of Genesis use two different Hebrew words to describe God. One is the masculine Hebrew noun for divinity. The second is female Hebrew noun for spirits. So non-binary idiot. Yeah, he is an idiot. Is okay, is in the female form. That's what they mean. It's hovering over it. I'm trying to think, because it's true that the Hebrew language does split into, I don't know that's necessarily feminine form. I don't think that's necessarily feminine form. There's a lot of words in Hebrew which will take either male or female form. It's not a reflection of like this is a female thing, meaning nouns, like the word son, for example, can take either male or female form. You'll see it when they're describing an action associated with a particular noun, so they'll use male or female form for that. I'm not going to give you a whole language lesson here because you're still in feeling a certain way. I'm sensing something's with you tonight. I don't know what it is, but I'm sensing something's with you tonight.
No, what are you talking about? I've done 2 shows with you.
I know, and I feel maybe you're getting a little Joe burnout or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm sensing. I'm sensing. That's okay. Look, I get tired of hearing myself sometimes, so I get it. That's okay. I'm not.
Now you're just assuming things. You know what happens when you assume, Joe.
I wasn't assuming anything.
You're just assuming things. What I was gonna say was, we did a late stream last night. We had to land the plane. I had to make sure I stayed here with my little buddy Joe and get him home safely.
You told me like you're the skipper and I'm Gilligan.
I had to get
hey, little buddy.
Yeah, I had to get
hey, little buddy.
I had to get you home safely, get you all tucked in your bed, And then I had to. Tonight was a responsibility thing. So also, I was drinking last night when I realized how drunk you were. I was like, I should probably slow down in case Joe falls out and somebody needs to carry the show until we can get it shut down.
That's professional right there.
Yeah.
That's very professional. Well, where can people find you so they can see more professional productions?
Oh, you can find me at FFS Cast, all one word. I stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We talk like, locale shenanigans, indie comics, things like that. And then I might do a solo stream tomorrow. I haven't decided yet, but you can also get all those updates on my X account at Ambient Aristotle.
What time would you be doing that solo stream?
Oh, probably midday, somewhere around midday, Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying we're redirect here for our friend.
Oh yeah, we need
that's
to.
Kind of thing. That's kind of thing I do.
Love. Yeah,
that's kind of thing I do.
Yeah, I'll try to do a solo stream around midday, early afternoon. I don't have any shows tomorrow, like with the guys that I do the panel show with, and some people are asking me to cover a little history of our channel, so I might start doing that in a couple, 2-3 shows.
Oh, I was gonna say if you think it'll help.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to pop on.
All right. Well, I will be starting to cover some politics and what I feel like.
It doesn't have to be politics.
Well,
it could be whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be whatever it is that works for you. But if you want, look, I'm not going to force myself on you.
I'll message you and let you know, Joe. I appreciate it. I really,
what I'm
really
saying
do.
is, like, I know it helped my channel when I was starting out that I had Nick come on here, and my channel's not as big as his was then, but still. And certainly, I think that hopefully can help get you over 1,000 if we do that.
Yeah, we're so close. We're at like 852 right now.
I'll tell you right now, if you have me on tomorrow, you'll probably cross 1,000. There's a good chance. There's a really good chance. There's a really good chance.
I think you're right. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. So I'll message you in the morning and let you know what's going on with that, because like I said, there's some history of my channel people keep asking about. They want to know why we cover and talk about certain people, because we got so many new folks. And so I'm going to just do it myself with none of the guys interrupting, none of the guys giving their points of view, because I've been there from the beginning until now. And I'm going to go ahead and just put my channel in the chat right there, guys. So
yeah, if you put it in the chat, if you put it in a private chat, I'll add you into our description also.
Oh, yeah.
So I can do that for you, and you'll find it over there. By the time you're looking for it, you'll probably see it. So I'm putting it at the very top of my description, so you can find it. You can find it there. You can feel free to print to pin it in the chat on the way out. And I also am sharing. I'm going to be redirecting you all over to Jim Tells You. So that's what we're doing. He's awesome. When you head over there, make sure you give him a like and a sub. I thank you all for joining me. I'm going to just remind you that Lab Meat was never meant for you. It's meant for they, them, and do not eat the bugs. Don't do it. Have a good night, everyone. And as always, Godspeed.
Bye.